It's all about high-level music for the Y2K vibe. Shouts out to the UK talent. Just keep pushing on and moving forward. Cause UK talent is nearly at its peak, yeah? Don't give up now, it's not long. It's just a matter of time. You're in tune to the decipher sounds and we lock down in the media. It's all about high-level music for the Y2K vibe. Shouts out to the UK talent. Just keep pushing on and moving forward. Cause UK talent is nearly at its peak, yeah? Don't give up now, it's not long. It's just a matter of time.
Hi, sorry about that. For some reason, it switched to a different mic. I have no idea why. But I fixed it now. Anywho, hi everyone. happy Furude Rika is already dead in this one Friday. Before we get started, I have a couple things to run through real quick. Just a quick reminder that there will be no Tuesday stream next week. And obviously, since we're finishing the current arc today, there's not going to be a Higurashi stream next Friday either. However, because there's going to be no Tuesday stream, I'm going to be doing Tuesday stream on next Friday. So next Friday will be the Dual Destinies DLC. So there's that. Second thing is that just by virtue of how we timed this all out in terms of chapters and stuff, we're going to be starting with a pretty brutal one tonight. So if you've been having some trouble with any of the graphic content in this chapter, murder-wise, just mentally prepare yourself for that. I don't think there's anything else really to touch on. This chapter does introduce a couple elements that were not present in the previous ones, so we do have like some little afterward stuff after the credits hit, and we do also have the staff room, which are both things that you'll really want to stick around for. So if you're the type who usually leaves when you see that big logo impact, Vine Boom sound effect, just stick around for a little bit after that. You won't wanna miss that stuff. Anywho, let's get going. Hey everyone! Are you all still alive? Kimiyoshi was hanging from the collar with his head turned up to the ceiling. He didn't even move when I walked in. Maybe he's already dead. Satoko was lying on a cross-shaped restraining table. She glared at me with red and swollen eyes, which must have been that way from crying. I'd wanted to put her on that special restraining table to pound nails into her hands, but Satoko was too small for that. I walked up to Kimiyoshi and poked his body with my toe. There was no response. Uncle Kimiyoshi, are you dead? Murderer! Murderer! Maybe Satoko had witnessed Kimiyoshi's last moments. I took a thick knife from the wall and stabbed Kimiyoshi with it. There was no response. Uncle Kimiyoshi? If you're alive, you better tell me, okay? You can't fool me. I walked over to the pulley that was suspending Kimiyoshi. This is your last chance. Are you alive? Let me know if you are. I paused for just a moment, then turned to the pulley. Kimiyoshi's body swayed strangely in the air. It looked much more like a corpse like that. Shion-san, why are you doing this? Oh, I got it. The door to the huge cave was still open. I bet Satoko had talked to the one in the cell while I was gone. That's how she knows my name. Although that's not actually my name at all. No, I'm not Shion. I'm the real Mion. The one you all thought was Mion is Shion. It's kind of confusing, huh? If you don't get it, that's okay. How dare you? How dare you kill Rika! I had allowed Satoko to watch me take care of Rika's body. Of course, I let her see Rika's neck, too. Rika Furude deserved it. She came over to kill me. I just fought back, that's all. It's not possible! Rika would never do a thing like that! If you don't believe me, that's fine. It's none of your business anyway. What are you going to do with me? I'm going to kill you. Satoko's eyes went wide. She was expecting my answer, I'm sure, but she still looked shocked. I bet she didn't expect me to state it so openly. I heard the noise of something hitting iron bars echoing in the huge cave. Shion's voice echoed there as well. Sorry, just adjusting in my seat. Sis, no! Don't kill Satoko! I answered her clearly. Did you finally realize what you've done? Did you finally realize you didn't do anything to save Satoshi-kun, although you had the power to? That was why he was killed. You ignored millions of chances to rescue Satoshi-kun. Yes, that is your sin. Before even finishing my sentence, I stabbed Satoko's right arm. Her blood started to flow out. This was nothing compared to what happened to Rika Furude. I twisted the knife into Satoko's arm. She bit down hard, crying, "Stop! Don't kill Satoko! Let her go! I don't care what you do to me, but please let Satoko go!" Why couldn't you say that for Satoshi-kun? It's too late now! I was the one screaming like you back then. But no matter how loudly I screamed, it never reached them, spared him, or saved him. Oh, the yelling is really loud. Let me lower the volume on it a little bit and see if that helps. I apologize for that. Oh, whoops. I want you to go through the same thing I did. If it would just stop scrolling, please. Thank you. I stabbed Satoko's arm repeatedly, but the knife kept hitting her bone. It didn't feel like it was cutting any of her flesh. Stop, Mion, stop! Say stop, stop, stop! Okay, Shion. How about this? I'll tell you how you can save Satoko. Apologize to me 1,000 times. I'll let her go when you're done. How about that? I don't tell lies. If you really apologize 1,000 times, I'll keep my promise. Well, how about that? I'm sorry, 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 I'm sorry. Shion started to apologize like a broken record. She's so stupid and honest. She's not even thinking of cheating. I bet Shion really will count to 1,000. I stabbed Satoko in the wrist. There, I felt something hard. I guess I either crushed her bone or scraped it. It must have been extremely painful for her. Satoko screamed. Shion's voice got louder as if trying to overpower that scream. All you ever do is cry to get what you want. You think your Nini is going to appear out of nowhere, knock me aside, and rescue you, huh? Yeah, right! The knife was still in Satoko's wrist. I slid it toward her elbow. Satoko, can you hear me? Hey, listen to me! I slapped her face several times and made her look at me. Do you know what you've done? Do you know how your very existence is what cornered Satoshi-kun? Nini! Nini! That's right. That's all you did to him. Every time you cried, Satoshi-kun protected you. But have you ever even considered what kind of a burden you were to him? He wasn't some superhero. He was just like you. He was just a normal human being. Have you ever even thought of what he had to go through because of you? No, you didn't. You never even tried. You just let Satoshi-kun take care of you. You just leeched off of him. And as he got injured for your sake, you lived by sucking his blood. You're cursed. How can you still call for him? Huh? You are now going to pay for your sin. With my help. Cry as much as you want. Scream as much as you want. And realize Satoshi-kun will never come for you. You
cornered him. You made him disappear. You killed him. After telling her all I'd been wanting to, I exhaled roughly. What's this? You don't feel anything in your right arm anymore? Okay then, let's use your left. I stabbed her left arm repeatedly and her blood flowed out. But Satoko's reactions weren't fun anymore. She didn't cry or scream like she did before. That put me in a bad mood, so I stabbed the back of her left hand and twisted the knife again. But Satoko still just moaned. She didn't scream anymore. What's the matter? Are you stifling your screams in protest, thinking that I was enjoying your cries? That's great! Satoko was unfazed by my mad laughter. She looked at me with gritted teeth and resignation. Yes, I think that's the truth. Huh? I cornered Nini. That's why he disappeared. I've known that. Ever since the day he vanished. I wasn't strong enough. I depended on Nini. I'm sure it was hard on him too, but I couldn't stop. You are absolutely right about that. I have no excuse. Satoko didn't sound as if she was mocking me or trying to please me. She spoke so naturally. That's interesting. I never realized you were aware of what you'd done. Nini is coming back. He will come back someday. And when he does, I'm going to show him how independent I've become. I don't need him anymore. I won't hide behind him anymore. I'm going to show him that I really can live on my own. When he comes back, huh? I stabbed Satoko's arm in a mad frenzy, but she still didn't even scream. She bit down tightly and swallowed her pain instead. Nini is coming back. I know he is. I'm waiting for him. And when he comes back, I'll apologize for depending on him so much. So I won't give up until that day comes. I'll never depend on him again, ever. No matter what kind of hardships I have to endure, I won't ask him to help me. I won't call for help. I won't cry. I won't scream. If I cry, Nini will come for me. So I'm going to endure this by myself. Damn you. What do you think you're saying? If it's fun for you, go ahead. Stab me as much as you please. But if you think I'm going to cry for Nini, well, too bad. I will not cry. Ever. If you refuse to believe me, then try it. Nini is watching me. He's watching me endure this. He'll see that I'm not like I was before. And when he sees that, he's going to come back. Come on. Try it. I will not cry. Try to see how strong Satoko Hojo is. Shit. I'll show her. Take that, and that, and that! Nini, you're watching me, right? I've become so strong. This won't bring me down. This is nothing. This won't make me cry. I won't cry for your help. I can endure this. I'm going to endure this. This is nothing compared to what you had to go through for me. Shit! Why doesn't she feel the pain? Doesn't it hurt? There's no way it doesn't. I've been stabbing her so much and the knife went in so deep. Her blood's poured to the ground and I've been turning her flesh inside out. How can she still talk that way? Why doesn't she cry and scream? After Satoko said what she wanted to say, she shut her mouth. She didn't say a word after that. No matter how much I stabbed her, twisted the knife, tore at her, and ripped out her flesh, she didn't even make a sound. What in the world is this? This isn't the Satoko I know. Satoko was never as strong as this.
If Satoko was this strong, she wouldn't have been a burden to Satoshi-kun. Why wasn't she as strong before? It's too late. Everything is too late. This idiot's maturity came far too late. Her blood made my hand slippery and I dropped the knife. I was covered in blood from head to toe. Satoko was still enduring the pain. She was enduring this cruelty so she could display her strength. I couldn't defeat Satoko. I couldn't crush her strength. Satoko had achieved her goal. She had become independent, so she didn't need Satoshi-kun anymore. She still believes Satoshi-kun will come back one day. She looks forward to a day when she can show her brother how strong she had become. But Satoshi-kun hadn't seen any of that. Instead, I, who never even thought that Satoshi-kun would come back, was the one who witnessed her strength. What was I thinking? I thought Satoshi-kun was dead. No, I assumed he was. Why did I? I never even thought of waiting for him. I didn't believe he would come back. I didn't wait. I tried to avenge him, but I guess what I really did was forget about him. Satoko is different. She never even thought he was dead. No, maybe she did a little. But even so, she waited. She waited for a day when she could show him how much she'd grown. She waited patiently. What about me? I didn't do anything. I wanted to forget about my sadness, so I tried to find my enemy. I became a demon using revenge as an excuse, so that I didn't have to think like a human. I lost. I couldn't endure the pain of waiting for Satoshi-kun, so I chose to become a demon. In other words, I got rid of my soul, the soul that loved Satoshi-kun. In other words, I got rid of Satoshi-kun himself. Satoko won. While she had been gritting her teeth before, her mouth had gone slack. Her eyelids were half shut, but I could see her eyes a little. They looked like she was dreaming about something happy. Satoshi-kun was there in her eyes. Satoko endured until Satoshi-kun came for her. Satoko ran up to Satoshi-kun. She jumped onto him. Satoshi-kun hugged her, and they spun around. You can cry now. Satoshi-kun told Satoko that, and she cried very hard. Satoshi-kun rubbed her head so gently. We'll be together forever. He said that and continued to rub her head so gently. So gently. Satoshi-kun, I was waiting for you too. What meaningless words. He was already dead inside of me. I never believed in our reunion. How pitiful of me to say that, just because I saw Satoko and Satoshi-kun together again. As Satoshi-kun hugged Satoko, his eyes met mine. Sion, Satoshi-kun said. I asked you a favor. What favor? I tried to remember. What kind of favor did Satoshi-kun ask me? Satoshi-kun looked at me so sadly, because I couldn't remember. That sad look tore my heart to shreds. The blood flowing out from me wasn't as pretty as Satoko's blood. My blood was a slimy liquid, like vomit with filthy chunks of food in it. That was what filled my body.
Whether it's a real curse or somebody's conspiracy, I won't disappear, and I won't fall victim to it.
You won't disappear?
No, not until I buy that teddy bear. I'll get the money pretty soon. I won't go anywhere until then.
Huh? A memory of the past? But when? Of course. This is a memory of the day before last year's Watanagashi. Satoshi-kun called me on the phone then.
My aunt is home. I have to go.
Okay.
Mion.
His aunt was home, so I'm sure he wanted to hang up as quickly as possible. Satoshi-kun paused and spoke.
I'll leave Satoko to you.
My knees and elbows started to shake. My teeth chattered and my fingers were shivering. Satoshi-kun asked me to. Satoshi-kun to come back, so I filled myself with evil thoughts and acted as I pleased. I didn't believe he'd ever return. I even forgot about Satoshi-kun's last request. How can I say that I love him? I just wanted to forget about my feelings of loss, so I made myself all bloody. How can I welcome him back now? I didn't believe Satoshi-kun would come back. I didn't believe Satoshi-kun was alive. I didn't think he was alive, so I thought he was dead. I believed in his death. I killed him and myself. Nobody else did. I did that. But Satoko believed until the very end, and she was rewarded in her final moments. Satoko wasn't here anymore. She had no more need for her bloody, painful shell. But I'm still here. Trapped in my bloody, tainted flesh. I'm going to rot inside of it. Satoshi-kun was waiting for both Satoko and me, but to be reunited with Satoshi-kun, we had to keep our promises. Satoko's promise was to be strong. Satoko kept that promise until the bitter end, and Satoshi-kun embraced her. My promise was to take care of Satoko for Satoshi-kun. I never kept the promise from the beginning. Therefore, Satoshi-kun will never embrace me. Even if I were to rub Satoko's wounds and ask her if they hurt, that wouldn't mean anything. That was when I felt something behind me. It wasn't Satoshi-kun or the thing that scared me before. I didn't know who it was, but it was right there, criticizing me for my mistakes. Then, I finally realized it. That thing is me. I had always been there, standing beside myself and watching me break that promise. Satoshi-kun asked me to take care of Satoko, yet I didn't keep that promise. I had been watching that happen. I cried and gave up on myself. Wait, Satoshi-kun gave up on me, and I gave up on myself. What will happen to me now? I don't want to be in this darkness. I don't want to be all bloody. Please don't leave me. If I give up on myself, what will happen to my body? There will be nothing left. The only thing I'll have left in me is an evil demon. I get it. I've known it for a long time now. I'm nothing but a demon. A demon doesn't feel sad. A demon's heart can never be in pain. A demon doesn't cry. Shion was still apologizing. She believed that was the only way for her to save Satoko. Her voice was growing hoarse and weak. Shion! You don't need to count anymore. Good job! I guess she realized what happened to Satoko. Shion cried in her cell. Being a demon isn't that bad, huh? I never knew how fun it would be to see other people cry and scream. I've already had plenty of fun in this human world. Maybe soon I'll kill myself and go back to hell. But don't worry, I'll make sure I kill you first. That's why I'm here, after all. Demons are pleased when they see people cry and grieve, see? Indigo with the 10 pounds. Congratulations, Shion. You defeated the 11-year-old child. Yay. Yeah.
Wait, you like Kei-chan, don't you? Okay, I'll rip Kei-chan apart before your eyes. What a great idea! I'll kill you and then myself after that. Onigafuchi village is a village of demons. Demons came out from the swamp and attacked the village. I'm going to act like those legendary demons and wait for Oyashiro-sama to judge me. That will be a suitable disaster for Hinamizawa, don't you think?
Cybernetic Silver with the, I forget what the, I always forget what the MX, the actual currency is called, but the 200. Wow, okay, damn, just take my tear stain money. Thank you. Hold on. Let me clean my glasses real quick. Predictably smeared beyond recognition at this point. Okay, it is pesos. I thought so, but I just, for some reason, I was, second guessing myself. Anywho.
Kei-chan? It's me.
Oh, wait, okay.
It's Shion. You took a long time to pick up. Thought you weren't home. I was about to hang up.
Sorry. I was just in the bath.
Wouldn't your family pick up for you? Could your parents be out right now, Kei-chan?
Well, no, they're not really, anyway. Have you heard about Rika-chan and Satoko?
No. What happened after that? Were they found?
Nah. They haven't found them yet.
Kei-chan, please don't lose hope.
Rika-chan and Satoko. They were kidnapped, weren't they?
Yes. I don't think there's much doubt.
Rika-chan and Satoko were... no. I mean... I'm sorry. About the mayor. What do you think happened after he was kidnapped? Do you think he's still alive?
Keiji sounded confused. He wanted to believe Satoko and Rika were still alive, which was why he was asking. Keiichi was just like Satoko. Unless the culprit was after money, the abductee would usually get killed right away. I'd never assumed they'd still be alive. But Keiichi was trying to hold on to a little hope. I could feel his strength. It was much greater than mine. I'm a demon, so I didn't come up with an excuse. I think he was killed.
Hey, wait. That was abrupt.
I think it must be really hard to kidnap someone and keep them like they are. As long as they're not hostages, it would be more practical to kill them once you were done with them.
Kill them? So readily? I mean, what's a human life or two, anyway?
It's a horrible thing, but that's probably what happened.
If the mayor was killed, then did that mean the same had happened to Rika-chan and Satoko? No, that couldn't... They weren't some random old man. It was Rika-chan. It was Satoko. They couldn't kill them so easily.
Keiichi was still refusing to believe what I said. He fought so hard because he didn't want to kill his friends within him. I wasn't like that. I killed Satoshi-kun within me so easily. I blamed Shion for not protecting Satoshi-kun, but I killed him so easily. It's probably better to think that Rika-chan and Satoko-chan ended up the same way. Keiichi roared and cried. It was like their deaths were physically agonizing to him.
Why? Why kidnap someone and kill them? Screw curses. Are people's lives really that cheap? Erasing them and killing them without a second thought like this?
You're right. You're absolutely right. It would take a demon. I laughed at myself. I was sure Keiichi didn't notice.
Please tell me, why did Hinamizawa start needing someone to die on the night of Watanagashi?
That's what I'd like to know.
The fighting over the dam project is already over and done with. Haven't enough people been cursed already? Why is it? Why? If there's a reason, then say it now!
I understand how you feel, Kei-chan. I really do. The damn conflict ended a long time ago. Yet murders and disappearances keep happening every year under the guise of Oyashiro-sama's curse. Why? Why is it happening? Some of them had nothing to do with it, and some of them didn't even deserve to be cursed, so why? Why?
That's what I'm asking you!
I want to know that as much as anyone! Of course, the curse of Oyashiro-sama never existed. It was just a bizarre environment that allowed people to kill in the name of Oyashiro-sama. The environment and nothing more. Nothing would have happened unless there were demons who danced within it. Listen, Oyashiro-sama's curse never existed. It's too unrealistic. Just like you said, someone in the village is using the guise of Oyashiro-sama's curse as a justification for continuing these murders and disappearances every Watanagashi. They were cunning. They've been using the curse as a convenient tool and made a system where they would get rid of 2 enemies in the village every year. And this year, that system killed Takano-san and Tomitake-san.
Then why wasn't that enough? Why did the mayor and Rika-chan and Satoko have to get killed too? I don't give a shit about the past! The only thing I care about is why Rika-chan and Satoko needed to be killed! Why is that? I didn't say a word to Satoko, you know? Why even her? Why?
Satoshi-kun was speaking through Keiichi's mouth. How could I respond? I didn't know what to say. I could only feel myself being stabbed by the sharpness of those words. Kei-chan, please. Stop being mean. I don't have any idea what's going on either. Everything changed when we went into the ritual storehouse that night. When I heard that Takano-san and Tomitake-san had been killed that night, I doubted my ears. Then I realized it instantly. I realized what sort of a position I was in now. The 4 of us snuck in there. Kei-chan and I won't be so conveniently forgiven. When I thought about that, it made my chest so tight. It was so terrifying. You know that feeling, Kei-chan, don't you? That's why I confessed everything to Uncle Kimiyoshi. He wasn't mad. He smiled and told me that if I was really sorry, I'd never be demoned away. He really did smile at me and told me to leave it to him. I remembered Uncle Kimiyoshi speaking ill of Satoshi-kun. I killed him, but everyone in Hinamizawa did that. I wasn't the only one at fault.
When did you let the mayor know?
Huh?
I'm sorry, Shion. It must seem like I'm kicking you while you're down, but Shion, you told him, right? You told old man Kimiyoshi, the mayor?
Yes.
When did you let him know?
Huh? Keiichi's tone was becoming sharper. That edge was cruel, but it was a sharp conviction. It wasn't a dull edge that caused excessive pain. It had a clean, pleasant sharpness to it.
Did you know that the mayor had a severe case of hemorrhoids and had gone to the hospital for treatment?
Kei-chan? What does that have to...
Please, answer me. If you didn't know, then just say so.
I knew that. He had hemorrhoids. It looked like sitting down was really hard for him.
He was going to the hospital. You know which hospital, right?
I'm sorry. I don't know that much, but... Kei-chan, what does that have to do with...
I want to ask you straight. Shion, when did you tell the mayor about everything? When and where? You can give me a rough answer, but please give me one.
Kei-chan... Why are you asking that? Very good, Keiichi Maibara. You know who I am, don't you?
It was impossible. The day that Mayor disappeared. From dawn until he vanished. There was no opportunity for you to contact him.
That's...
The mayor left first thing in the morning for his examination at the university hospital all by himself, without telling anyone. Shion, you just said you don't know what hospital he went to. So you couldn't have contacted the mayor until he got back. Isn't that right? His train back was delayed by an accident, and he didn't return to his house until the meeting was about to start. So there was no time for you to have told him before the meeting started either. Shion, did you go to the meeting too? Did you attend it and tell him there? If you didn't, then there wouldn't have been any time left. After the meeting was over, the mayor disappeared on his way home.
Actually, with the meeting,
You didn't even go to the part-time job you said you went to that day. I'll cut to the chase. You haven't been seen since we were at the library together.
Kei-chan...
Shion Sonozaki disappeared. The day after Watanagashi.
Bingo, Kei-chan. I'm impressed.
Oishi-san says you've been missing. Despite that, you've been calling me every night like this, haven't you? Please, Shion. If something I said was wrong, please say so. Shion, I'm begging you.
Corner me even further. Corner me so that the demon inside can't come up with excuses. So that it can't escape.
Shion, there's no way you could have seen the mayor, but if you did see him...
The only time I could possibly have seen him on that day was...
Then you saw him after the meeting. In other words, it could only have been right before he disappeared. Or else... afterwards!
Click. I screeched and screeched with laughter, then slammed down the phone. Very good, Kei-chan. That's right. It's me. I'm the one. Hurry and corner me. Hurry. Let me be free. Was he going to tell the police? Or was he going to come here by himself? I wondered which it would be. If the police came, I'd struggle as much as I was able. I'd see how good Oishi would be at catching a demon. If Kei-chan came here alone, that wouldn't be smart of him. He couldn't complain about being eaten by a demon then. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him gruesomely while Shion watches. Therefore, Kei-chan, you shouldn't hold back. I only ever thought you were just a funny guy. I never thought I could expect so much from you. It took them a long time to come for me. I had to wait until the following morning. I opened the gate without checking who was ringing the doorbell. I didn't even care who it was. If it was the police, that'd be fine with me. If it was Kei-chan... Could he defeat me? Keiichi and Rena were there. Well, this is unusual. Aren't you two going to school?
We stayed home today.
Kei-chan is one thing, but you two, Rena? You two are such troublemakers. I laughed. Well, let's not just stand here. Come on in. I didn't think Rena would come. I thought it would be either the police or Kei-chan alone.
Neon Roses with the $5. You've been killing it with the laughs, Nezumi. Thank you.
I'll try tricking Kei-chan into coming with me to the underground storehouse. Rena,
Why don't you try to figure out what I'm attempting to do and stop me? You too, Kei-chan. If you figured out I was Shion, why don't you try to figure out the rest? I'll act like a demon. I'll struggle until the very last moment. So don't hold back. Please don't hesitate to kill a filthy demon like me.
Mion, first, I have something to apologize for.
You do? What for?
Well, on the night of Watanagashi, the ritual storehouse behind the shrine, I went in there.
I didn't expect this to start with an apology. Okay, so he admitted his sin of entering the ritual storehouse. I guess that was manly of him. I don't even care if the storehouse is forbidden anymore. Whatever. That rule came from those who believed it was even a sacred place at all.
Mion, you called Rika-chan and Satoko the day before last, didn't you?
I don't remember doing so. If you have a reason to think so, could you let me hear it?
It was evening, before dinner time. Rika-chan should have come here, bringing a big bottle of soy sauce, to have you share some with her.
Rena spoke with confidence. She wasn't even trying to gauge my reaction. She was simply telling me the truth. That cleverness was very pleasant to see. Why do you think that?
It's not hard to understand. Mi-chan, you saw it too, didn't you? Rika-chan's room. There was chilled tofu, but no soy sauce. Plus, the big bottle of soy sauce that should have been under the sink was nowhere to be found.
What? Is that why she would have come here? Rena sure is sharp. I tried to beat around the bush, but she was confident in her conclusions. She was cornering me. She was doing such a great job, too. It really put me at ease. Okay, demon. Rena knows what she's talking about. What kind of excuse are you going to come up with now?
It's a long explanation, so I'll get to the point. The contents of that refrigerator provided a vivid account of what you said over the phone when you lured her out.
There it is. This game's over. Rena, I was right about you. I don't like you. You really are just too sharp. Shion is so obtuse that she never even recognized this side of you. That's... I had no idea I had such an incredible detective right next to me the whole time. I can't believe you figured out everything. Down to the phone conversation just from what was inside the fridge. You've got me there. You've got me. You've got me. I laughed like crazy. I laughed because I was having so much fun. I sensed the poison inside of my stomach dissipating and felt free and refreshed.
Mion, the police have suspected you for a long time now. Oishi-san's officers have had the house under observation so that they could break in any time.
Kei-chan was threatening me. He was telling me I couldn't run or resist, so I should just surrender and accept my fate. You aren't doing that intensely enough, Kei-chan. Shouldn't you grab my collar and knock me to the ground? Today's the day I'm prepared to die. After that, they went easy, because they just wanted to know the reason why Mion committed such crimes. You all are being too lenient about this. I'm a demon. I'm a murderer. Are you saying that if you can understand the reasoning, murder is okay? A demon is a demon. A murderer is a murderer. Whether their motive is to have fun, to live, or to take revenge, that makes no difference. Why do you even want to know that? Why don't you just tackle me and take me to the police? Look, there. The demon is trying to deceive you.
It's a pleasure to meet you both. I'm the successor of the Sonozaki family, Mion.
Welcome to the Sonozaki family's house today. I'd like to greet you on behalf of our leader, Oryo. You seem to want to ask various questions. I'd like to answer everything as clearly as possible. So yeah, remember when she did that back in Watanagashi, and it's like kind of in the moment it seems a little weird. It's like, oh, is she like introducing herself as the successor? That's a little strange. Now you know it's literally an introduction from Mion, because Mion has not introduced herself to Keiichi and Rena as Mion before. Fucking hell, man. I then told them about the strange events that led to Onigafuchi village becoming Hinamizawa, which Takano-san had told me about before. Our Hibaki gave me the $10. Notice chat struggled to define the twins after one asserted control last stream, but even the twins would struggle to answer who is who without falling back on tradition or their family rules. Peak! Yep, true! About half of it was the truth, but the other half was completely made up. I just made it sound like it was only natural that their best friend committed such a gruesome crime. Keiichi and Rena were both overwhelmed by the history of Onigafuchi village, which was swallowed by this gloomy fate. Oh well. I guess I made it sound interesting enough. I'm sure they enjoyed hearing me tell the story. But you know, I'm the one who committed the incidents that happened in the present time. What was the point in listening to those old folk tales? Are you thinking it will make your best friend's crime easier to swallow? You're just trying to satisfy yourselves. I'm a demon. I'm a murderer. I've sinned. Those old folk tales have nothing to do with the crimes I've committed. The way those two listened to me so intensely almost made it fun. I told them that people used to make canned human meat and conducted gruesome research during the war. Those were things Takano-san told me. Hey, you two. Haven't you realized yet? Haven't you realized that what I'm talking about has nothing to do with what we're dealing with right now? You both look so serious. You two are such fools. Jadiri with the Canadian $5. She's beyond forgiveness, but she's not undeserving of kindness. Perhaps like everyone in a way. So that Hinamizawa village might once more be like Onigafuchi village, so that we may again be a sacred existence worthy of worship. That's the mission of those who inherit the demon of the Sonozaki main family. Those who inherit the demon? For generations, the Sonozaki families had a custom of inducing the character for demon in the names of, including the character for demon in the names of its successors. A shortcake emoji with the £2, me when I'm a cicada and I'm crying. Uh-huh. If you write out my name on your hand, it should appear plain as day. Keiichi tried to write Mion on his palm. Oh. She's right. The character for demon is in there. Not only in my name, either. The demon is engraved on my body as well. I stood up and made to show my bare back. Of course, I don't actually have a tattoo there.
It's okay, Michan. You don't need to show us, okay?
Thank you. I laughed a little. They must really believe that I'm their best friend, Mion. My goodness. The demon is one already. They were doing so well at the beginning, too. I eventually sat back down after I finished telling my made-up tearjerker stories. It's your loss if you all shed any tears now. I looked at Keiichi. He wasn't crying, but he was overcome by emotion. I looked at Rena. Surprisingly, she still maintained an aggressive look, showing me her will to fight.
But Rika-chan and Satoko-chan, you killed them, didn't you, Michan?
You're good, Rena. You know what I just told you isn't an excuse for murder. You usually act like such a goofball, but that's not how you really are. You sure are something. You're far sharper than Shion.
I'm not saying that it's okay that you killed other people. Regardless, Michan, you killed Rika-chan and Satoko-chan.
I'm not trying to justify what I've done. I have a demon inside of me. The demon is in my name, in my body, and also in my soul. But the demon wasn't the one who killed them. I did. Mion Sonozaki did. Rika-chan and Satoko died because Mion wanted them dead. That will never change. You're right, Rena. Come on, Rena. Try to figure out who I really am. You still believe Shion, my victim, is the real culprit. Poor Shion. I'm making Rena believe that you're responsible. That was it for Rena, though. She couldn't figure out I was Mion.
Please, turn yourself in.
Rena spoke to Mion.
We'll go with you. We'll never leave a friend by herself.
Crying children and Rena are the only things I can't beat. Too bad, Rena. I've won. I'm well aware. I'm well aware of how serious my own crimes are.
Even if they accept me turning myself in, I'll probably never be able to come back here. So I'd like you to hear one last selfish request.
What is it?
30 minutes is fine. Just let me have some time alone with Kei-chan. Hmm?
Keiichi looked startled to suddenly hear his name. You're so insensitive, Keiichi. That's what made my sister cry.
Keiichi-kun, is that okay with you? If you don't want to, then I won't make you.
She's right. It's okay if you don't want to. After all, I'm a demon. And Kei-chan is a bona fide human who moved here from somewhere else. For us to be compatible, as long as Oyashiro-sama doesn't exist to mediate, it simply isn't possible.
Keiichi hesitated a little. Come on, Kei-chan. Condemn me. Condemn me and tell me you'd never go.
Sure, it's fine. Thank you.
Fool.
I'd like to thank you too, Keiichi-kun.
Rena stood up. As promised, she made to leave.
It's fine, Rena. You can wait right here. I just want to go around the garden with Kei-chan. If you're bored, you can go to my room. You can read any manga you like. And if there are any volumes you want, you might as well take them.
I don't want to. Mi-chan's books belong to Mi-chan. Rena couldn't bring them back home with her so freely.
You're such a good kid. Only at times like this.
I took Rena's head and rubbed it like Satoshi-kun used to do to me.
Okay, let's go. Kei-chan.
The game was over. Too bad, Rena. At least this was more fun than if Kei-chan came alone. If he did, he could have asked me to run away with him after hearing my stories. Rena's eyes were like those of a judge. In those eyes, I sensed both affection and observance. I said 30 minutes, so she would probably only wait for 30 minutes. If I took even a second longer, she'd call Oishi. I'm a little disappointed. Rena still thinks I'm Mion. She didn't manage to see through me. I thought someone like her would see the demon in me. I guess I was wrong. Too bad. Keiichi followed after me after putting his shoes on.
Can I hold your arm?
Such a humble request.
I don't mind.
I took Keiichi's arm. It was as warm as Satoshi-kun's. I felt a little bewildered.
Do you get kind of nervous with your arm through mine? You're not thinking, for example, that I'd suddenly put you in a world-class joint lock or anything. You two say the same things. I don't think that. At all.
He was remembering the time at which I'd held his arm in town.
I think Shion liked you, Kei-chan. I see.
I told him how my sister felt. Shion was with Satoshi-kun for a long time, but what they had was friendship. They never had anything more than that. That was why she fell in love with Keiichi. If I were in her position, I would also have fallen in love with him. If Shion was able to fall in love with him, then I could fall in love with him too. Keiichi smiled gently. I almost saw Satoshi-kun in that smile. The Keiichi I knew was worthless and superficial. I never realized he could smile like Satoshi-kun.
Mion and Shion, you got along well, didn't you?
Well,
I wonder. Kei-chan, do you think your right hand and left hand get along? Huh? My right hand and left hand? I don't think you could describe them as getting along or not. That's how our relationship is. You can't measure it by how well we get along.
We've been together since we were born. We'd been living in this world as a pair. But I was Mion and she was Shion. Mion was treated specially, and I insisted on being her. Of course, that was unpleasant for Shion. Deciding to be fair, we switched places all the time. We were probably different from other identical twins. We didn't only like the same things or do things the same way. We even managed to share our knowledge and experiences. When we talked about our experiences, we could share them. As Mion and Shion, we shared everything. That was why each of us was both Mion and Shion at the same time. No. Maybe Shion was the only one who thought that way. I was a little different than that. I was simply letting Shion be Mion once in a while. I was Mion, the successor to the Sonozaki family. I was supposed to be treated specially. I always thought that was my privilege. Just like everyone tried to distinguish between Mion and Shion, I also tried to distinguish between us. For example, one of your hands is dominant, so there will always be a better hand. If you only had one oven mitt, you would put it on your dominant hand without thinking, right? I think maybe it was like that for us. That doesn't mean, though, that anyone would be okay with losing their left hand. It's that kind of unexplainable relationship. I think that maybe you live too close together and just stopped being able to see it, but I think that means you get along really well. I'm an only child, so the day before the festival, I was really jealous of when you and Shion were messing around with each other. I think you're jealous of something that doesn't exist. Yes, we twins used to have a lot of fun trading places with each other. But now that we have such distinctly different personalities, our resemblance only gets in the way. As an older sister, I felt I was mean for thinking that way. So as a punishment, I became Shion. Who am I? I never had a solid identity in the first place. I was Mion, then I was Shion. I should have just accepted that. But something has changed. I don't even know if I'm Mion or Shion anymore. Had I really been stupid enough to hope that Rena would figure that out for me? Shion is still alive. Really? Keiichi looked into my eyes. I nodded quietly. Yeah. I'd been thinking to give her the most horrible death of all, so I kept her locked up. I never did think of a good way to do it, though. This was a lie. I've already come up with ideas, and I've already begun to execute them. I dumped the hag into the well in front of Shion. I dumped Kimiyoshi and Rika in there. I even killed Satoko, too. And right now I'm plotting to kill Keiichi, who Shion fell in love with. I'm a demon. Any such gruesome act is simply pleasure to me. That's when I felt a warm hand rubbing my head. It wasn't Satoshi's hand, but Keiichi's. Keiichi and Satoshi-kun are totally different. Indigo, well, the dialogue box says Shion, so we definitely don't need to think any further. That's one of the downsides, I think, of the switch of format for the patch from, like, the original, where the text just fills the screen in sort of prose format, as opposed to, you know, the modern VN aesthetic, because they don't have names displayed in the original, so it would make this even more poignant in that respect, I think. Keiichi and Satoshi-kun are totally different. Why did Shion fall in love with him? His rough hand didn't make me happy. That he understood my feelings was just my imagination. I wasn't happy, and it didn't feel good. It didn't. Come with me. I want you to see all of my sins. Although, Kei-chan, it might be the worst thing you've ever seen. I'm going to commit my final crime. I'm going to let you see it. I'm going to let Shion see it. When I do, are you still going to think that I'm your best friend? Poor Shion. Kei-chan is going to die thinking it's you who's killing him. If you want to turn back, now's your chance. I don't know what impression you have of me on Sonozaki, but it will surely change once you go inside. It'll never change. I'll say it as many times as I need to. Mion Sonozaki is the best friend I could ever have. I don't know. I would disagree with that, Jupiter, honestly. I think that would be playing a bit too much into Shion's perception of herself. Yeah, I don't know that I would do that. You're such a fool. You don't sound cool at all. I don't understand human feelings because I'm now a demon, but I think I can understand why she loves you.
I opened the iron door to the underground storehouse and beckoned Keiichi inside. Come on, Keiichi. This is obviously a trap, don't you see? The spaceman is transparently suspicious. Don't you think you should run to the police? But Keiichi was reckless. He swallowed, then stepped inside. You really are a fool. We went down the stairs to the basement, and I led him into the torture room. Everyone is shocked their first time visiting this room. I used to be that way. Of course, Keiichi looked surprised, too. Arhabaki Gaming with the $5. It's almost like the narrative wanted the reader to make up their mind about who is imprisoned to define what makes Mion and Shion distinct. Yeah, I could say more about that too, but I'll wait until we get to the end when we're having our discussion to really dig into that a little bit more. But he was trying not to show it. Obviously, he wanted to express his shock at seeing this horrifying room. But he also knew that if he voiced that shock, that he'd be rejecting his best friend who was trying to confess her sins to him. So he did everything he could to stifle his surprise. According to something a family head from a long time ago wrote, blood splatter has impact, despite the fact that it doesn't tax the sacrifice. Watanagashi was meant as a deterrent, after all. My ancestors thought up all different kinds of showy torture. That's a space for the audience. Watanagashi is a deterrent, after all. It wouldn't make sense if there were no guests. Keiichi smiled quietly as he listened to me. No matter what cruelty came out of my mouth, he would embrace me. Was this really the superficial Keiichi Maebara I knew? Right here is where I killed everyone. There were no spectators to watch me, but I held a Watanagashi of my own. Well, perhaps there was one spectator. Huh? A spectator? Me. I, the demon, was watching the entire time Mion held the ceremony. I started to laugh. How many hints do you need, Keiichi? When are you going to figure out I'm not really your best friend? Come on, hurry up. You're running out of time. The game is almost over. This was a game. This was a game of murder. I had killed people, using my revenge for Satoshi-kun as an excuse. The demon was trying to capture Keiichi and kill him before Mion's eyes. But Keiichi had a chance. Neon Roses with the $10. Remember when we were all yelling at Keiichi for being an idiot here? I do remember. And I've known everything the whole time. Tee-hee-hee-hee. If he figured out I wasn't his best friend, then he'd win. If not, he was out. When did I come up with that rule? I guess it was sometime today. Or did I come up with it just a minute ago? Since the two of them aren't too bright, I decided to be easy on them, I guess. You are Mion's best friends, right? Don't you believe in her? Have you already made Mion into a murderer within yourselves? Why don't you try to protect the Mion within you? Why don't you try to believe your friend can't be a murderer? If you could believe until the very end, like Satoko did, you would have realized I wasn't Mion, your best friend, but just someone who looks like her. But if you can't, if you still believe that I'm Mion, then you're just like me. I killed the Satoshi-kun within me so easily, and you'll do the same. You don't deserve to live. Back there is the prison. Is Shion there? You're not going to make it. Once we reach Shion's cell, your time is up. The demon will win. Shion? Is that Shion? Keiichi? Is that you, Keiichi? Keiichi ran to the cell. Are you alright, Shion? Are you hurt? No. No. No! Shion screamed. I was standing right behind Keiichi. It was time. My preparations to kill the boy she loved were complete. For her, this was going to be the worst possible torture. Calm down, Shion. Everything is over now. Everything. Keiichi tried to quell Shion's distress by talking to her in a calm voice. It was such a funny sight. Keiichi was the only one who had no idea what was going on. Shion, how have you been? No more. Please. No more. Shion. It's all over now. It's going to be all right. So calm down.
Relax. I won't kill you. No, I won't kill you just yet.
It's game over. I gave you enough chances. You cornered me quite well once, but that was it. You couldn't figure out that I'm not your best friend, Mion. You couldn't believe that Mion isn't a murderer.
Please stop! Don't kill Kei-chan! Kei-chan has nothing to do with this, does he? If you're going to kill someone, then kill me right now! I don't want anyone else to die!
If you want to die that badly, then after I've killed this man, I'll take my time making mincemeat out of you. In accordance with the ancient rites, I'll do it slowly, starting with your extremities. I'll shave you down and mince you to bits. I had that mincing machine set up specifically for you, after all. Or would it be funnier if I were to mince up Kei-chan in front of you?
Hey, quit it already. What do you have to gain by scaring her at this point?
No! Kei-chan, run away!
Here you are, demon. Go ahead and take my soul. I've been living my life to avenge Satoshi-kun, but that wasn't what he wanted from me. That was just for my own satisfaction. I couldn't even face Satoshi-kun, so I'll bring this to an end in the way that I want. The world became a total mess. Satoshi-kun hates me, and I hate myself, too. I'm going to complete my revenge. I don't want anyone to sympathize with me. I won't pretend to be some tragic heroine either. I'm going to become a murderer that nobody could sympathize with. So please, grant a suitable final moment to me. A bluish-white flash filled the huge cave. Keiichi fell down like a doll. Shion reached out to him from the other side of the bars. She screamed at me not to kill Keiichi. Go ahead, cry and blame me. Don't even think of offering your forgiveness. I'm the most rotten existence in this world. So please, grant me the worst possible ending. Shion begged me desperately to let Keiichi go. I simply abused her, slandered her, and disgraced her. The more Shion suffered, the deeper I'd fall into hell. It wasn't enough. It wasn't even close to deep enough. It wasn't even deep enough to compensate for my sins. I dragged Keiichi to the table that I tried to put Satoko on, and then restrained him there. Keiichi began to move sluggishly. The stun gun must not have worked too well on him.
Can you hear it, Shion? I'm going to get started now! Savor Kei-chan's fresh screams to your heart's content! Give it a fucking rest!
Keiichi squeezed out those words. He sounded good, like he was about to bite me. Awake at last, are we? I lied before, you know, about having wanted to give Shion the most miserable death of all, but locking her up because I hadn't thought of a good way yet. That was a lie. I smiled as I laid out the huge nails and hammer specially made for the nail table. I'll let her hear the screams of all those people that died because of her, and after they've soaked into her very soul, then I'll kill her. I've got pretty good taste, huh?
Who are you?
Huh? I'm Mion. Mion Sonozaki. Have you lost your mind from fear?
No, you're not. There's no way you can be Mion Sonozaki!
I stopped moving. Kei-chan? Shit. I decided the naming game would be over once we reached Shion's cell. Therefore, even if he guessed this time, it would be too late. Oh well. Sure. I'll listen to you. This is your last chance. I see. Then if I'm not Mion, who am I? Come on, Kei-chan. Guess who I am? Why don't you try and save Mion, the girl who fell in love with you?
A demon.
Huh?
You're not Mion. Mion was just here. Give her back!
Kei-chan, is your brain really doing okay? You're not going crazy with fear?
Don't touch me! You damn demon! Give her back! Give Mion back! My best friend! Give Mion back!
I listened to him with a blank expression.
I know it's nonsense to demand Mion's return when she's right in front of me. But, this person in front of me can't possibly be Mion! I can't accept that!
That's great. So I'm not Mio nor Shion. He doesn't even see me as my sister. No, wait, that's not it. Keiichi protected the Mion in his heart until the end. He didn't accept the fact that Mion was a murderer. And not just that either. He protected the Shion in his heart as well. He didn't conclude that if Mion wasn't a murderer, then it must have been Shion. To Keiichi, Shion was someone who always made fun of Mion. But that was it. It wasn't like they'd known each other for a long time. But Keiichi protected her. He protected Shion from being a murderer. That's why I'm a demon and not Mion or Shion, huh? A demon, huh? A demon. That's stupid. But isn't that just right on the money? Kei-chan, are you trying to drown me in my own tears? However, Keiichi didn't back off. Oh, sorry, forgot the echo for a second. He kept screaming. He screamed loudly so that I could hear his voice even when I was stuck inside of a demon.
You can do it, Mion! Don't lose to this piece of shit demon! You're strong! Show me how strong you are!
Surely he isn't talking to me knowing that I'm the real Mion, right? He's just confusing us again. So there's no reason to let my heart be disturbed by Keiichi's screams towards Mion.
Come on! Mion! Mion! Why did you lose to a demon like this? You're not that weak, are you? Don't give up. Fight! Fight!
He's right. I didn't fight back. How did he know? How did he know I didn't fight back? I lost to the demon. After all, I'm weak. I'm not strong enough to defeat the demon. Just heads up, by the way, Lambda Delto, I appreciate you, and thank you. I have actually looked out for that, but let's please not mention anything in the chat that is beyond where we're at right now, since there are a lot of people in the chat who have no idea what's to come. So I don't want them to be spoiled on anything. But thank you. I appreciate that. Even so, Keiichi continued to talk to Mion. His voice had become hoarse, and he had begun sobbing. He kept mumbling, Mion, Mion. Kei-chan, this may not be something pleasant to take to the grave with you, but you really seem to want to know, so I'll tell you just one thing. A long time ago, the demon came to live inside me. It was gnawing at my heart, trying to spur me to violence, but I suppressed it with my reason. The demon had become quiet, and I got to thinking it had gone away somewhere. As it turned out, I was wrong. It hadn't left. It was just sleeping inside me. That was the truth. When I learned about Satoshi-kun's disappearance, my weak soul couldn't take the sadness and anger filled me to the brim. But the insanity had stopped there. Time had healed me, and embraced me with memories of Satoshi-kun.
The demon woke up again due to a certain small opportunity. What do you think that opportunity was? It was such a little thing. This might be strange for me, a demon, to say, but you're the reason that everything got so messed up. A tear rolled down my cheek. At the time, if you had given me that doll you got without hesitation, maybe everything wouldn't have gotten so twisted. You probably can't understand. I wouldn't expect you to. But you see, all sorts of things started falling over like dominoes after that. And soon it was too much for me to control. It only makes sense that you wouldn't be aware of knocking over the first one since it was so small. But you're the one who set them up. If Kei-chan hadn't done something so insensitive, Shion wouldn't have cried. Shion cried, and talked to me about it. That had reminded me of Satoshi-kun. I became jealous of her for having someone she loved so close to her. It was a very small jealousy, but that little feeling woke up the demon who was sleeping deep inside me. After that, I just let the demon take over. The demon ate up all of the sadness from my loss of Satoshi-kun, and filled my heart with the notion of revenge, even though I knew that wouldn't make Satoshi-kun happy. Then, the scary incidents that followed dragged me into hell, from whence there was no escape.
That can't be, can it?
It only makes sense that you wouldn't be aware of it. Even so, Kei-chan, you're without a doubt the cause. If you had nonchalantly given me the doll that day, then I don't think this would have happened. Was I simply transferring the blame to Keiichi? Such a tiny thing woke up the demon inside me. The demon would have woken up eventually. I was at fault. I didn't fight back. I let the demon live in my soul, and I let the demon possess me. Keiichi didn't hide his tears. They were pouring down his cheeks. Maybe he was crying in my place, since I'd become a demon and couldn't cry of my own will. Can I start now, then? This method of torture is very simple. I'll nail one of these into the first joint of your left pinky finger. Then I'll nail each one in order until I get to your thumb. And then I'll go back to your pinky and nail one into the joint in the middle. So on and on until I hammer 15 nails into your left hand. When that's over with, I'll do your right hand next. After that, if you're still conscious, I'll tell you. There are a lot of nerves bundled in your fingertips, so it hurts far more than you could imagine. Some people apparently pass out before you finish hammering 30 nails into their hands, so... I put a nail to Keiichi's left pinky. Once I hit it with the huge hammer, it would start, and it would be over. I didn't hesitate at all when I was torturing the others. But somehow I do when it's you.
If this will satisfy your demon, Mion. If it will sate the demon, then do to me what you will.
I didn't understand what he just said, so I tried to repeat his words in my head. Evie, it's exactly the same.
Are you serious? Compared to how much I hurt Mion. This is nothing, right? Do as much as you want. In exchange, promise me 2 things. After you're satisfied with causing me pain, forgive Shion. She's been punished enough to make up for her crime of sneaking into the storehouse, hasn't she? After all this, you still care about Shion more than yourself?
I am Mion Sonozaki. So why are my eyes growing so damp when hearing Keiichi show concern for Shion?
The other thing is that when you've had your fill, you disappear. Give that body back to Mion. That's all.
You know, are you not even considering possibly begging for your life or anything? Can I ask you to promise 3 things instead of 2? The third's to leave me alive. You said 2 in the beginning, didn't you? So you can't have any more.
That's a shame.
Even in this situation, Keiichi and I joked around and laughed. Then I knew why Shion fell in love with him. He's different from Satoshi-kun, but he's a good guy. I probably won't keep these promises, understand? I'm a demon after all. I guess there's nothing I can do then.
Keiichi smiled and then closed his eyes.
Kei-chan, I'll agree to just the third thing, okay? Huh? Your first wish, to save Shion. That's not possible. The demon will kill her. It's already been decided, so I can't stop it. So please give up on that.
I stroked Keiichi's chin.
As for your second wish, to give this body back to Mion, that won't happen either. After today, Mion will never come back. From today on, even if my body remains, it will just be a shell, because the demon has taken it over. That isn't true. Mion is... Mion! Don't say such sad things, like that she won't ever come back! Can you hear it? That sound?
I'd been hearing a noise. I knew what it had to be. A dull sound was repeating in a regular rhythm. It was accompanied by a light tremor. People were trying to force open the iron door to the underground storehouse.
You're late. Serena probably called Oishi. That spaced-out girl being so quick-thinking was the one thing I didn't anticipate. I'll agree with you there.
Really? I wonder how much Kei-chan really knows about Rena. Rena Ryugu. I won this time. Rena couldn't figure out who I was until the end. Or maybe she did. Rena didn't seem confused about whether I was Mion or Shion. Perhaps Rena could tell Mion and Shion apart through her sense of smell. She was good at that kind of thing. No way. I'm overestimating her. I brought out my stun gun so Keiichi could see the sparks. You've probably never seen one before, right? It's a real stun gun. It's illegally modified and its power's been increased quite a bit.
Was that what you hit me with before? That's not a toy children should be playing with, you know.
You're right. They must have broken the first door. The path was complicated, but there was no other door except for this one to the torture room. I won't kill you, but I will have you go to sleep for a bit, Kei-chan. Oishi will be here soon. This will only hurt a bit. Keiichi bit down and smiled bitterly. I paused, hesitating a little. Keiichi opened his eyes to see what was wrong. I'm sorry for disgracing Mio.
I made a promise before coming in here. Whatever happens, the Mion inside my heart won't change. Look, forget about that. If you ever see me after today, don't come near me. By then, it will be the demon that inherited my corpse.
Keiichi fell unconscious. I locked the door to the torture room. I locked the door to the huge cave, too. That should give me some time. Shion! Come on out! I opened the cell and told Shion to leave it. She was crying. You asked me to let Kei-chan go. So I did. He's out cold because of the stun gun. The police should be here soon, so they'll set him free. Thank you. Thank you. You still have something more to do. Shion has to escape from here. I took Shion to the cell with the hidden passage. Before that, I'll give Mion back to you. Huh? Take those clothes off. We're switching again. Here, the rubber band for your hair. Shion had no idea what was going on, but she changed her clothes as I ordered her to. I gave her the flashlight and she hung it around her neck. You go first. Find the hidden escape route at the bottom of the well. The light from the flashlight wasn't enough to entirely illuminate the way down. Nobody in their right mind would want to descend that well. But Shion obeyed and timidly climbed down the ladder. When she had passed entirely below the rim of the well, I brought out my stun gun and put it to Shion's head. Shion understood the meaning of that. Sis, I didn't kill Kei-chan, just as you wanted. You told me that I could kill you instead, didn't you? I'm going to keep our promise. Shion's hands and feet were clinging to a very unstable ladder, so there was no way she could protect herself. She was in a critical situation. You, who looks like Mion, need to fall into the bottom of the well and die. I look like Shion. Kei-chan will testify that I'm the victim. I'll wait in the cell for the police to get here. I'm sure they'll eventually find out the truth from our fingerprints. But by the time they get that far, I'll be hiding somewhere else. Pretty good, huh? Are you killing me? Out of revenge for Satoshi? If you know that much, you should have been prepared. Go apologize to Satoshi-kun at the bottom of the well. Sis, Satoshi isn't at the bottom of the well. Huh? Didn't you say the bodies get dumped down here? All I said was that if he was killed at the Sonozaki house, this is where his body would be. What are you telling me now? Can't you be a little clearer? I also like Satoshi. Yeah, I'm sure. I liked him after all. I was very sad when Satoshi-kun disappeared, so I looked into things. And I interrogated Granny. I even thought about throttling her. Then she told me. She said that she was only telling me as the successor, so I had to keep it a secret. What she said was something hard to believe. The hag said to Shion, the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with the disappearance of Satoshi-kun. Shion couldn't understand, so she asked again. The Sonozaki family held a lot of influence in the underworld because of our dad's connections. In fact, they used such illegal measures during the dam conflict. Therefore, people just assumed the Sonozaki family had pulled the strings when the dam construction incident took place. Even the hag laughed meaningfully and said suspicious things, so everyone believed she was the mastermind. But it was all a performance. It was a hoax by the Sonozaki family head. It was just a bluff. The family took credit for the incidents to make it look like they were pulling the strings. With the influence they had, this bluff was very believable. Therefore, people thought of the Sonozaki family as the one who had deep connections in the underworld, and that they were capable of producing any sort of conspiracy. People had believed that since the dam conflict. Oryo just smiled at things she had nothing to do with, as if she was pulling the strings. When the relatives saw that, they became fearful of Oryo's power. When the dam construction site manager was killed, Oryo smiled meaningfully. When the relatives saw that, they assumed Oryo was behind it. When the Hojo couple fell off the cliff. When the Furude couple died violently. When Satoshi-kun's aunt died and Satoshi-kun disappeared, the hag just smiled meaningfully. Everyone believed the Sonozaki family was behind all those incidents. That's a lie! Are you trying to tell me the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with any of it? How can I believe that? I don't think Granny would lie. Especially about Satoshi-kun's disappearance, since she said that she knew nothing about it. Because Granny approved of the relationship between Satoshi-kun and you, remember? You ripped your nails off so she would forgive everything. No, that's a lie! Don't try to fool me! Then who made Satoshi-kun disappear? Who? That... I don't know. But it wasn't the Sonozaki family. It wasn't Granny. You know the curse system, right? The hag didn't need to give the command for Satoshi-kun to be attacked. All she had to do was look concerned, and then someone else would take care of it. That was the system! Shion couldn't say anything in response. Even if the hag had forgiven him personally, as long as he was the object of the curse, the executioner would follow him forever. Granny told me that she had tried to find out who was actually behind this curse of Oyashiro-sama for a long time. But she couldn't. Everyone believed it was somebody in the village, but they couldn't find out who it was. She couldn't find out? Then why did the curse take place every year? Isn't it weird?
But there wasn't anyone. There really wasn't. I told you that Rika Furude tried to attack me earlier with a syringe, didn't I? How do you explain that? She wasn't just acting out of desperation like a cornered rat. She came over to my house and attacked me with a bottle of pepper spray and a syringe. I bet Tomitake-san was killed with that same stuff. I don't know. I can't believe Rika-chan would do something like that. I'm the one who saw how she died, and I still can't believe it. What a completely abnormal way to go. I don't think Shion and the hag are lying. That would mean the hag wasn't in as much control as we thought she was, though. She didn't know anything about that scary drug, or if the Furude family was the one executing the curse. If the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with it, then who made the series of mysterious deaths possible? Was it just a coincidence that something happened 5 years in a row on the night of Watanagashi? That's impossible. A human must have made it happen. And it was all decided somewhere the Sonozaki family wasn't aware of. The Kimiyoshi family didn't know anything. Kimiyoshi believed the Sonozaki family was behind it. Was it the Furude family? With Rika's behavior and the elderly people who believed in her so blindly, did some kind of power exist around the Furude family that created the curse? No way. The Furude couple themselves were victims of it. How could a little girl like Rika possess a power stronger than that of the Sonozaki family? No way, it's just impossible. In other words, I'd killed the heads of all 3 families and was trying to bring an end to the whole thing, all as a result of a misunderstanding about the dark secret of Hinamizawa. Then what about my revenge? Did I kill all the wrong people? People who had nothing to do with Satoshi-kun's disappearance at all? That's good, Shio. You're still trying to turn the tables on me, huh? Sis, please, believe me. I'm not your enemy. I really am not. Please believe me, sis. Shion begged with tears in her eyes. That would have affected me if I was still Shion's sister. But I don't feel anything anymore, because I'm a demon. I'll be done once I kill Shion. I've already decided that. If I don't finish it up, what would my existence be for? What about the life I devoted to revenge for Satoshi-kun? How dare she tell me all this nonsense to confuse me at the very end? If what she said was the truth, then what I'd done wasn't revenge. It was just the curse of the 5th year. Shion, if you're truly innocent, you can go to heaven. Apologize to Satoshi-kun for me. A bluish-white spark lit up the darkness, and Shion disappeared into the well. Please apologize to Satoshi-kun in heaven. I can't, since I won't be going there. Instead, I'm going deep into hell. Jumping into this well would be too simple an atonement for what I've done. Until I find a perfect way to end my life, I'm going to live as best as I can.
Notebook page 199.
Shion Sonozaki's last confession is dubious. Did the hag convince her that the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with it? Or is that the truth? In my own investigations so far, I've proven that there are aspects of the curse which can't be explained by the Sonozaki family alone. So my notes were all bogus from the beginning. These 200 pages are full of bullshit. I thought of burning this notebook, but I won't do it. This notebook proves my guilt. I won't distort the facts. I won't burn it. After all, my life was only a notebook long.
Junepop45 with the $20. I'm so fucked up. Me too!
I wonder if anybody will read this. If somebody does, please let them learn something from my stupidity. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa, dubbed Oyashiro-sama's curse. If you're reading this, please find the truth. That's my only wish. June 1983. Mion Sonozaki.
June 1983. Oh, wait. I should probably do that.
There's been a series of disappearances in Hinamizawa Village, Shishibone City, XX Prefecture. The suspect is Mion Sonozaki.
Years old.
Allegedly, she abducted, imprisoned, and killed 5 Hinamizawan residents, Oryo Sonozaki, Shion Sonozaki, Kiichiro Kimiyoshi, Rika Furude, and Satoko Hojo, between June 19th and the 21st. Preliminary investigations on the incidents were delayed at the time due to insufficient evidence, but by chance, the case was solved rather abruptly. On the morning of the 22nd, a vehicle patrolling the Sonozaki property heard screams from inside and rushed in as an emergency measure. They secured the suspect's missing younger sister, Shion Sonozaki, and her 2 missing classmates, Keiichi Maibara and Reina Ryugu. The suspect fled the scene. We found hair, pieces of skin, and blood of the 4 missing people, Oryo Sonozaki, Kiichiro Kimiyoshi, Rika Furude, and Satoko Hojo, in the torture room that was discovered in the basement of the outbuilding of the Sonozaki family property. Supposedly, that's where they were killed. We concluded that the victims were tortured in that torture room. However, the remains have still not been found. According to one of the imprisoned classmates' advice, the body should be somewhere in the basement of the outbuilding where the torture took place. However, nothing has been uncovered as of yet, including the escape route the suspect took. In addition, investigations continue regarding any possible connection to the series of mysterious deaths in recent years. But no evidence that Mion Sonozaki was involved either directly or indirectly has been found. There are still many unclear points as to the motive behind the incident, and as those of the Sonozaki family and the residents of Hinamizawa have been extremely uncooperative in assisting us, we expect to require a long time to clarify them. The opinion of a local officer knowledgeable about the region is that this may have been a lynching, an internal form of punishment, punishing sacrilegious acts carried out against the beliefs of Hinamizawa Village. It is clear that these incidents are particularly rooted in this region, and the Prefectural Police Department have ordered a cautious investigation. We anticipate gaining valuable clues from the missing person believed to have been imprisoned for the longest time, Shion Sonozaki, the suspect's younger sister. However, the incident has left such serious mental after-effects that she has not been in the state of mind to properly answer any questions about what she knows. The psychiatrist concluded that she is in a temporary state of shock, but as of today, she has yet to show any improvement.
I was acting at first. It was just an act to avoid being interrogated by the police. As it turns out, though, fake insanity can become real. You see, I couldn't bear it any longer. I continued to be haunted by the presence Rena Ryugu had talked about. It was so close that it could almost touch my back. It wasn't Satoshi-kun, and it wasn't a hallucination. It had become Shion's ghost. Shion didn't go to heaven after all. She was always by my side instead. Shion didn't like the fact that I was still alive when she wasn't. So she had decided to haunt me until she witnessed my death. Every night she whispered to me, telling me to die. I get it. I get it! I shouted at the Shion in my back. Through my mouth she shouted back at me. It must look odd to other people. They'd think I was arguing with myself. It's not fair. Oh.
It's not fair. Why are you still living, sis? Die, die, die already! You said you'd die right after you killed me. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. It's so dark and cold in this well. It's cold. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts.
I get it, I get it! Shut up! What exactly do you think, sis?
You won't die in the way you want to. You're just running away. You're trying to survive, even after you did all of those horrible things. You'll never be forgiven. You're cursed. You're cursed. You're destined to die.
Shut up, Shion! You're just a ghost, so shut up! Shut up!
Sis! Sis!
You lousy shit! Fuck off!
It's not fair. It's not fair. You and I should always be together, even after death. So, Mion, I've come to take you with me. Mion!
Bang, 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 bang. Shion banged on the door. Bam, 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 bam. That noise is too loud. It's cracking my ears and my head open. Shion's trying to break in. Oh, shit. All right, Shion, I get it. The perfect way for me to die is to be cursed to death by you, isn't it? But I won't be going so easily. I won't simply disappear. It wouldn't be fair if your beloved was left alive after all. I went out onto the balcony to avoid Shion, who was on the other side of the door. If I jump over the railing to the neighboring apartment, I could reach the fire escape. Eat shit, Shion! I leaned over the railing and jumped to the balcony next door. Then I rushed down the stairs, noiseless as a cat. Shion was too stupid to realize that I escaped. It wouldn't take too long to get to Keiichi's house on a motorcycle. Shion must believe that I'm still in that room. She's so stupid. Soon enough, I could see the Maibara mansion. 1 second. Okay. I'd never seen it before, but I'd heard a great deal about it from Shion. She told me that Keiichi's room's on the 2nd floor. I should wake him up, throw a stone. I threw a couple of stones at the window, and shortly thereafter the light turned on and the window opened. I saw Keiichi there. The moment I saw him, my madness cooled off for a while. Even from here, I could tell that Keiichi was running down the stairs. He showed up quickly, with a doll in his hand. I felt depressed to see it. It was the doll he failed to give to Shion. It isn't fair after all, Shion. I'm so jealous, Kei-chan. I want to receive a doll from Satoshi-kun too. Mion! It's been a while. How are you? Doing alright? Despite the burning insanity within me, I spoke to him casually. It's true. My body is controlled by the demon now. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here this late.
Are you alright? Hanging around this place?
I really shouldn't be.
Anyway, what's wrong? What do you need at this hour?
I wanted to talk to you one last time. I feel horribly sleepy. Maybe it's more like fainting due to loss of blood. That sensation is proof that the insanity is swallowing me. Well, I can't stay for any longer.
Are you alright? Are you not feeling well?
I tried so hard until now. But I can tell I'm done. This is my limit. They're about to come up behind me to take me away. I won't get to decide how I die. Shion won't allow me to. No wonder I dropped her down the well. It wasn't only her. None of the people I killed chose to die how they did. Considering that, debating how I'll die must seem like a luxurious concern to the dead.
Are you okay? Don't force yourself. Oh, that's right. It's something...
I'll kill him. Kill him. Kill him. I'll avenge Satoshi-kun's death. I'll avenge his death. This guy is Shion's beloved. I hate her. I'll kill him and teach her a lesson. Eat this shit! While gravity's pull spun around me, I realized that I'd stabbed him with a knife. I made it in time! I made it. I made it. I made it before Sion killed me. I got back at her. Take that, Sion. Keiichi rolled on the ground, clutching his stomach. I've done it. I've done it all. That's everyone I wanted to kill. Yeah, I did it. I did it. I avenged your death, Satoshi-kun. Don't you love me for it? Will you stroke my head? Yes. This was all a bad dream. After all, I was just in my room like always, suffering from nightmares of Shion. But where was I now? I had been standing on my apartment's fire escape alone. I could still recall that dream. Yes, I'd stepped out onto the veranda. My front door was still locked, so I had to climb through the veranda again. What? My foot had slipped, and then I felt a floating sensation. After that, a sharp, indescribable pain ran through my head. That incredible pain finally cleared the fog away from my nightmare. I just slipped from the fire escape as I tried to return to the balcony, and fell onto the roof jutting out from the elevator hall 2 or 3 floors down. My room is on the 8th floor. I wasn't expecting to be caught up here. When I fell, my head landed right on the concrete corner, and I could feel both enormous pain and the warm blood dripping out. I felt strangely calm. I couldn't sense the demon, Shion's ghost, or my grudge. I felt just like a baby. The nothingness brought me peace. All my memories from when I was born and named Mion, up until today, came to my mind. I recalled memories of the time that I'd spent with Satoshi-kun. Tears rolled down my cheeks. Where did I go wrong? When in my life did I make the wrong choice? I do know just where and when that was, because Satoshi-kun reminded me. I'll leave Satoko to you. Sure. I believe you'll return. I'll be waiting for you. I'll take care of Satoko. I'll wait for you with her. We'll be good girls. You left your precious sister to me and nobody else. I guess I didn't get the significance of what you said. But I'll be fine this time. I love you, Satoshi-kun. Satoko. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. Shion. I'm really sorry. Could I repay everything with my death? No way, right? That's not how it should be done. I wanted Satoshi-kun to stroke my head one more time. I wanted to hear him mumble one more time. I knew it was too much to ask, and so I had no other regrets. That brought an end to my apologies. I rolled over, sending myself falling to the ground, head first. I hoped my head would crack open, to take me to the hell I deserved. I was just a demon. I belonged in hell. Why was I born? Why did this world give birth to me? I shouldn't have been born. I wouldn't have had to suffer if I hadn't been. What was the meaning of my meaningless life? If I wasn't born, nobody would have had to suffer. Thank you for treating me kindly, even though I was like this. Thank you for teaching me love.
Even though I was like this. Even though I was like this. Even though... I'm really sorry, everybody. I really am. I'm sorry. If Satoshi-kun could give me another chance, I wouldn't make the same mistake again. Never again. Here comes the ground. Bye. I love you.
I wished so many times that everything was a dream, so I wrote it down, hoping for it to become true. Dreams and cartoons are often like this. There's a huge stack of sweets. I can't possibly eat them all. I try to reach for them, but then somebody wakes me up. This dream has been a tremendously long one. I must have been sleeping for more than a year. That's right. I ran away from baseball practice. I stepped onto the street when the light was red and got hit by a motorcycle. I've been in a coma since then, but I finally woke up. When I open my eyes, I see a hospital ceiling, and Satoshi-kun looks at me from the bedside.
That's a bit too perfect. But it's okay, right? It's okay for it to end that way, right? I'm sorry.
That I was born.
Breakdown of all persons involved with or linked to the series of deaths in Hinamizawa. Tamae Hojo died via homicide by blunt trauma within the village on June 20th, 1982. Case closed. Satoshi Hojo, believed to have disappeared from the village on June 24th, 1982. Whereabouts unknown. Jiro Tomitake, believed to have committed suicide on June 19th, 1983. Death resembles that of Rika Furude on June 22nd. Investigation ongoing. Mio Takano, death by strangulation in the mountains of Gifu Prefecture on June 19th, 1983. Corpse was found incinerated. Investigation ongoing. Oryo Sonozaki, murdered by Shion Sonozaki on June 20th, 1983. Cause of death believed to have been shock induced by stun gun. Violently abused post-mortem. Head shows signs of extreme laceration. Rika Furude, believed to have been murdered by Shion Sonozaki on June 22nd, 1983. Cause of death was shock due to extreme hemorrhaging caused by lacerations to the throat. Death resembles that of Jiro Tomitake's on June 19th. Investigation ongoing. Kiichiro Kimiyoshi, murdered by Shion Sonozaki on June 22nd, 1983. Cause of death was ligature strangulation induced by restraints. Satoko Hojo, murdered by Shion Sonozaki on June 22nd, 1983. Cause of death is shock due to hemorrhaging induced by multiple penetration wounds. Mion Sonozaki, murdered by Shion Sonozaki on June 22nd, 1983. Cause of death is severe trauma due to impact after falling down a vertical tunnel. Keiichi Maebara, stabbed by Shion Sonozaki on June 30th, 1983. Victim was severely injured but is recuperating in a hospital. Reina Ryugu, last accounted for in 2004, currently resides in Shishibone City. Kurauda Oishi, last accounted for in 2004, currently resides in Hokkaido. Tetsuya Kumagai, last accounted for in 2004, currently resides in Shishibone City. Iria Kyosuke, last accounted for in 2004, address unknown. Tatsuyoshi Kasai, died of liver cancer in 2002. Ichiro Maebara, last accounted for in 2004, currently resides in Tokyo. Aiko Maebara, last accounted for in 2004, currently resides in Tokyo. Daiki Tomita, last accounted for in 2004, currently resides in Shishibone City. Suguru Okamura, last accounted for in 2004, currently resides in Tokyo. Rumiko Chie, last accounted for in 2004, currently resides in Tokyo. Kyoichi Kameda, last accounted for in 2004, currently resides in Tokyo. Tepe Hojo, last accounted for in 2004, currently resides in Tokyo. Keiichi Maebara died in a Tokyo hospital on July 3, 1983. Cause of death is acute heart failure. Shion Sonozaki died on June 30, 1983. Cause of death is severe trauma due to impact after falling from the balcony of her apartment. The suspect for serial murders, which began on June 20, 1983, fell to her death from the balcony of her apartment, which she hastily rented to conceal her identity. Following her death, police filed charges against her for the 5 murders which began with Oryo Sonozaki. Sorry, Headless, I had to wait for your donation real quick. I had to get through that. But our Habaki Gaming with the $2. Raise your lighters for this song. Yeah, You is the iconic Higurashi track. And fun fact, I won't spoil anything about the context or which song it is for people in the chat because there's a no Umineko rule here, but there is a track in Umineko which references the melody of this song, actually.
All right, it's lunchtime. Hey, Rena, put our desks together.
My lunch has meatballs today.
Sounds good. This old man will have some then. Rika-chan, bring your desk over.
I'm coming. Whoosh. Unfortunately, meatballs are my favorite too. I wouldn't allow you to have any.
Unfortunately, I won't let you do that either, Satoko. You have to have some veggies, so I cooked some squash for you.
Whoa, that's harsh, Shion.
I hate squash.
Don't be so picky about your food. Squash is very nutritious. You're still growing, so you need to think about things like that. As long as I live, I won't let you have an unbalanced diet. Here, guys, have some. Steamed squash is delicious.
Munch, munch. Satoko, it's really sweet.
Yeah, it's super good. The balance of flavors is perfect. Satoko, don't eat this. It's too good for you.
I wouldn't necessarily call this a dream, June. No, I wouldn't call it that. I would call it... Shion said that if she was given another chance, she wouldn't do it again.
Excuse me? I don't like your tone.
Just try one. Take a bite.
See? Isn't it good? Well, it isn't so bad.
Of course it isn't. I've been working hard every day to get you to overcome your dislike of squash. Okay, now that that's done with, why don't you overcome your fear of eggplants, green peppers, and asparagus within the year?
Stop joking! At this rate, I'll transfer to a school in Okinomiya.
Come on! I'm in charge of your health since Satoshi-kun asked me to take care of you. I won't let you eat junk food either.
I hate you, Shion-san! I hate squash!
All right. We have a little bit more to go because we have some extra tips as well as the staff room. So, let's real quick go see those extra tips, shall we? A happy diary.
Yes, when Mr. Kasai broke in, the room was empty, and the window leading to the balcony was open. That was when she fell. She hit the elevator housing right beneath, which gave her a concussion. Then she rolled off the roof and hit the ground, killing her. The reason Mr. Kasai didn't find her, even though he suspected her suicide, was that she was on the elevator housing at that time, unconscious.
JunePop45 with the $5. Fun fact, the they in When They Cry refers to the reader. That's true.
Detective, Keiichi Maibara was stabbed at about the same time. Was Shion Sonozaki unconscious on the roof then? I doubt it. She must have snuck out of the building, stabbed Keiichi, and accidentally fell when she came back. Doesn't that sound right? Yeah, would you look at the neighboring balcony again? Oishi-san, you've got a call on line 3. Oh, who's it from? Sato, apparently. He says the password's wrong. Hello? Ah, Sato-san. You must have some good news.
An informant got in contact with me and you were right after all.
Thank you. I'll buy you a drink on Flower Road. What was that call about? A mahjong invitation? Bingo. The Sonozaki sisters switched places. Mion's Shion and Shion's Mion. They made a mistake when they were supposed to tattoo the successor. So Mion and Shion are swapped around in this notebook. So then Satoshi-kun and Shion-san. No, Mion-san? Ah, this is confusing. Anyway, with that you gain a clearer understanding of their relationship. Are you talking about that mysterious notebook you received the other day? Didn't you say it was all mumbo-jumbo that could possibly confuse the case? Even after switching their names, it's still confusing. I don't know how much of the content I can trust. Even if this is true, Rika Furude's death seems very suspicious. It's the diary of a lunatic. It drove me nuts when I read it. You know this line on the last page about how she's sorry for being born? That makes me want to jump out the window. Even so, this is a happy diary. A happy diary? You know how many times Satoshi-kun's name appears in this notebook? Shion-san really loved him. But because she was so young, a few mistakes caused that love to be misdirected.
Disowned.
Hey, Mom, tell me, why'd you have a fight with the hag? It was bad enough that she disowned you, right? You're so nosy about everything. Well, I guess you're old enough to know. She objected when I told her I wanted to marry your father. Huh? What? I was living in a very unseemly life back then. Then the man I brought home was a Yakuza, so of course she got terribly upset. She said the head of the family will choose your fiancé, and I said, screw your decisions, you fucking virago. So then we both tried to cut each other down on the spot. We unsheathed our katanas in the living room and clashed and slashed and sliced. You fought that hag with a sword? Way to go, Mom! Well, I was into martial arts when I was young. Both she and I held high ranks in kendo, so yes, it was quite the show. Everybody nearby was terrified. Ah, that was fun. I see. So is that why you were disowned? That's right. I was happy for it. I married your father right away. Well, I was forced to remove my fingernails in atonement, though. See how the fingernails of my left hand look ugly? Wow. So that's why you and the hag have a bad relationship, huh? You know what, Shion? That's not actually true. Our relationship's actually pretty good. What? That can't be right. She has to maintain the family's reputation, so she can't treat me normally. And accordingly, I lay low at the family councils, but I visit her every now and then and we have tea together. I can't believe it! This is just between you and me, okay? She removed her fingernails in atonement a long time ago herself. Look carefully at her hand the next time you see her. What? What did she do? Beats me. I don't have any clue. Hey, you do so have one. It's all over your face. Tell me! All right. So, before this point, there have been the all-cast review sessions in the question arcs, which were the characters sort of fourth wall breaking, theorizing about the story. I deliberately did not read those when we were going through the question arcs because I thought they leaned a little too heavy-handed into the hints and gave too many hints about what was happening. In particular for this arc actually, or for Watanagashi originally, they really spell it out with the whole Mion and Shion thing pretty obviously. So that being said, in the answer arcs now, we have that segment replaced with the staff rooms, and I will be reading those, because if you don't know what the staff rooms are little afterwards put at the end of each arc from Mr. Ryukishi07 himself, talking directly to us, the audience, about what he was thinking while he was writing them.
and I like them quite a bit, so let's get right into it. Do you think that murder can be justified, depending on the motive? Hi, this is Ryukishi07. Thank you for playing Higurashi When They Cry Kai, Chapter 5, Meikashi. Although I depict many deaths in my work, I often ask myself a question. That question is there such a thing as a justifiable murder? In our world, murder is prosecuted, and the degree of punishment varies depending on the motive and circumstances. Having different degrees of punishment means that we're putting a value on the dead person's life. Some scenes justify murder in Higurashi. By degrading the life of the victim in those scenes, the players can sympathize with the character more easily. The degree of sympathy would be different from person to person. The people who could sympathize probably felt catharsis, and the people who disagreed with the character might have felt uncomfortable. That's indicated by how opinions were polarized regarding Keiichi's actions in Tatarigoroshi. In Meikashi, there are also a number of murders, but this time, the main character, Shion, tries to earn sympathy for each one of them. How did you feel? How much were you able to sympathize with her? If you couldn't sympathize with her at all, then please berate her as a crazy murderer. If you sympathized with her at all, then please have mercy on her. If you sympathized with her almost entirely, then please have mercy on her. If you completely sympathized with her, then please let us both berate both of you as crazy murderers, lol. What about me? Well, that's a secret. I'd like to reverse my question this time. What kind of murderer could you sympathize with if you were to be killed? A murderer who doesn't care about people's lives? That'd be quite a regrettable death. It's extremely sad to be killed in denial of all of your values. A murderer who begs for forgiveness in tears? That'd be quite regrettable too. They shouldn't kill you at all if they're begging for your forgiveness. Haha. So, what kind of murderer could you sympathize with? In the end, sympathy might just be a method for making the story more interesting. If you can sympathize, it's fun. If you can't sympathize, they're just crazy. We cannot put value on a human life. It's a sin to even try doing so. A murder is a murder. Nothing more than that. I just hope everybody can live happily together. How does that sound? Would you agree to that? If you wouldn't... He. Thank you very much for playing Higurashi When They Cry Kai, Chapter 5, Meikashi. I could only bring out this 5th episode thanks to all of your support. Higurashi will only get more intense as it approaches the finale. Nothing would make me happier than if you continued reading the chapters to come. The next chapter will be titled Sumi Horoboshi. Really, I'm rather fortunate if you've enjoyed yourself even a little. Thank you again for playing. I hope this has brought a little color to your life. 7th expansion, Ryukishi07. Writer for Life 724 with the $2. Lol. What does that mean? Sumi Horoboshi? Sumi Horoboshi means atonement. And, that, my friends, is Meikashi Hen. We're done. What a good arc, right? We're gonna be getting to theories and fan art in just a second, but I also had a little special thing that I've been saving to show for the end of this stream. So I think I might have mentioned before that, I definitely said before that this is one of my favorite arcs in the series. I think I might have said before that there are only a couple that I own as of present, but as of the recording of this stream, but I do actually own a couple of the original copies of some of the arcs, as in original copies with Ryukishi's original art and everything on CD-ROM, the kind you would have bought from him at Comiket. And wouldn't you know it, here you go. I wanted to show off my copy of it for the end of this stream. I picked this up at Anime Expo last year. Same Anime Expo where I happened to meet Mr. Ryukishi very briefly. So I just wanted to show it. It is still sealed and everything. I have not opened it. I am not planning to open it. It just sits on my fun little collection shelf. So yeah. Nothing particular other than that. I just wanted to show it off. And now we are going to be getting to theory time and fan art. And yeah, Sky, I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute while we're talking about theory stuff as well. But yeah, let me go ahead and put up our thinker, and you guys get to posting about your thoughts and theories and stuff while I pull up art. Jess with the $4. Thank you for the amazing voice acting. What a painful episode. Thank you. I appreciate it. It is my job to only make it as accurately painful as possible. So if I did my job, then good. Let's see. No. Okay, there we go. Getting everything together. That should be everything on Blue Sky. Next I need to get everything on Tumblr. Oh my god. Oh my god. Kitty with the 10 pounds. For peak! For peak! Thank you. Oh my god. This piece of art in the Tumblr tag. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so fucking good. Got that. Got this. Got this. Let's see. Go to the art channel on the Discord. Oh. Okay, I think that should be everything art-wise. So, let's get to looking at what you guys have been saying. One sec. Okay. Well, that ruined so much of what I thought I knew about Hinamizawa. yeah, you didn't know that you were riding on the Shion speculation train, did you? Although, to be fair, not everything would have been necessarily wrong. You know, a lot of some, like, historical context stuff would have definitely been accurate. Obviously, some of it is lifted from Takano's own research, although Takano's research is definitely biased and bad in a lot of ways, but, you know, there is still some legitimacy to some things there. It's, you know, there's some problems with framing and stuff, obviously. It's a lot messier now, though, for sure. Although, I mean, I guess, to an extent, it's always been kind of messy anyway. Nozo, I think there's a lot to Takano we aren't seeing. Obviously, one of these answer arcs is definitely going to have to focus on her. Okay. Interesting. Millie Dun Dun, this is the arc that finally made me appreciate why everyone who read the light novel bashes the anime. It makes so much more sense. Yeah, so, yeah, and to follow up with Rahela's comment here, instead of all of her dying regrets, this is in the anime, Shion just sees Satoshi in the moon, reaches for him, and then falls and smashes the black as we hear a splat. That's all we get from the anime. Also of note, in that scene, for some mysterious reason that makes no sense to me whatsoever, because you can't even see it that well unless you slow it down. But as she is falling from the balcony, like when she does the fast fall or whatever, Studio Dean thinks for some reason to have her like shirt tear, so you can see her like bra strap or whatever while she's, following to her death. For some fucking reason. Anyway. That makes no sense. Yeah, you're right, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, generally, I didn't have too much to say about the anime's differences aside from that, other than obviously, they omitted the whole Mion and Shion switching debacle, which is insane. I don't know why they did that. And also, they focus way more on, like, the shock value gore stuff, as opposed to, like, really giving that much of a shit about the actual characterization. They have none of the inner monologue. Satoko's death scene is not framed in any way to, like, show the growth of Satoko's character. It is pretty much just like she gets her obligatory lines very briefly, and then it's just played as like, oh, crazy, little girl being killed kind of thing, and then Shion gets a crazy laughy face, ha ha ha, and that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, they also the moment where she realizes that she didn't keep her promise with Satoshi, that moment that's really emotionally poignant, and she like screams and cries. In the VN, yeah, in the anime, they make her piss herself when she realizes that. They like pan to the floor and show pee. Why? I fucking hate the anime. Anyway, Cybernetic Silver. So this is more a thing I was thinking while walking to my therapist appointment. Why start the answers with this arc? The conclusion I came up with is to show us how little info the Sonozaki... oh my god, it scrolled me down. Fuck, hold on. Actually have. It's nice that the end actually spells it out, but right now it's very unlikely there's a conspiracy at all with the villagers. So right now there are two possibilities that I'm thinking of. An outsider is using the bias against the village so that they are not suspected. I don't... the second option is that everyone is so paranoid and also used it to... that people keep dying and no one does anything because, well, that might as well happen. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a fair perspective to have at this point, for sure. Won't really comment much more on it, but yeah. Grifters. So trying to rework what I think I know about Hinamizawa because of Shion pulling it out of her ass. I'm willing to believe about the discrimination against the villagers and the legends. Yeah, I more or less believe about that too, especially because that is interwoven with, like, actual Japanese history stuff as well. Like, I mean, obviously, Hinamizawa isn't real, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just, like, a lot of historical references to the country at around that time period sort of interwoven with it, so I'm more inclined to believe in some of that stuff. About being descended from demons, but the more specific details have become very, very dubious, more than they were already. I haven't thought about it for a while, but the cannibalism in particular is sus. No one has really brought it up since the second episode. Shion doesn't even touch on it at all, and she was committed to her research. I'm partial to discredit that idea. Let's see. Did I miss anything that you posted? I'm partial to discredit that idea. Okay, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'm waiting on you there. Let me scroll back up. Sorry, I just kind of have to bob and weave between these messages a little bit. Deathbird. Tomitake and Woman are the culprits of the curse. Woman is just too obsessed with the curse. Yes, I am still calling her Woman. Well, fair enough. Seditious theory. Keiichi's dad showing up as alive in 2004 is just because his mom remarried shortly after him being believed to be present due to all the dad sightings at the time of the murders. Skygazer, I always get teary-eyed at Shion's regrets as she falls to her death, but the way you acted it all made it hit that much harder. Thank you. Also, you got to meet Ryukishi, that's awesome. I did, very, very briefly. I wasn't, unfortunately, able to get to his autograph table because Manga Gamer fucked the whole thing up really bad, and, like, their tickets sales were very, very abysmal. I won't get into that whole thing again. And I flew in after he had his Q&A panel too, so I wasn't able to get on that. But Miss Sayaka Ohara, who has done voices in both Umineko and Higurashi, a very notable one in Umineko, as you probably know if you're here, had her own Q&A panel that I was able to go to with two of our mods, in fact. And they had a brief little window of time at the end where you could walk up and ask a question, and both Miss Ohara and Ryukishi himself were at the table. He had come to sit in on the panel, so I got to briefly speak to them both. Did you speak to them in English? Yes, they had a translator at the table who conveyed everything. So while I did get to ask them an actual question, I did also very quickly run through the whole, your work has greatly emotionally impacted me in my life and created a lot of great memories with my friends and my family. In particular, my mom, who watched all of the Higu anime and read all of Umineko, so, I got to tell them that, and Ryukishi seemed to appreciate that, and that made me happy. That made me really happy. I might get emotional about it if I talk about it more. Okay, let me leave it there. Anywho, Morgan Autumn, I wonder if the next arc, as it means atonement, could be similar to Arc 1, but from Rena's point of view, with how she almost blamed herself for not being able to help Satoshi, but wants to atone herself by saving/helping Keiichi. Ooh, that... Okay, yeah, that's a very interesting perspective. Hold on to that. Evie Curry, no art from me this week because I'm cleaning litter boxes. I understand. Don't worry. Poor Kasai dying before 04. Homie didn't deserve that. He really didn't. Like, Bud has seen too much. Rahela, Shion is honestly given every reason to be afraid that her family would be willing to kill her. No, absolutely. That's the thing that's, like, makes it even worse, honestly, is that you can see exactly where all of this kind of spiraled from, like, all of the circumstances that led to the dominoes toppling into each other. Her Habaki Gaming with the $2, a Moon Boy that deflates the complexity. And also with the $2, I hate Manga Gamer. I think all you're doing is spitting truths in this chat right now. There's no theory in your words. Let's see. Gona, more evidence for Irie's clinic being behind the mysterious drug. In Chapter 1, when the part of Keiichi's note mentioned the syringe and the syringe went missing, Irie and his staff were the ones who found Mion and Rena's bodies. They were the first ones on the crime scenes. Very interesting note. Let's see. Rahela got talking about the anime stuff from earlier. Gadu Mineko anime does that too. Where are we getting a close up of Jessica's bare thighs during this otherwise tense scene? Yep. They also do that in a scene with Ava, which is like a really dramatic scene where she's like, I can't say what the scene is because obviously, again, no Umineko spoilers allowed in these streams, but like it's a really dramatic moment with Ava. Like it's a very emotionally intense moment, but they give her jiggle physics during it for some reason. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I've seen people saying that the anime is a good start if you don't know the VN, and the more I hear about it, I'm like, are you sure? Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, in isolation, in a vacuum, it is like still a competent story, and I know plenty of people who have only just watched the anime that still really like Higurashi, and I'm not like trying to dunk on those people or anything. I'm not trying to be like a gatekeeper necessarily, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, it just, like, you know, you've all been here to this point. Like, I feel like when I talk to people who've only watched the anime of Higurashi, I don't look down on them or anything, but I do feel as though we are talking about two separate things. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we are able to talk with each other on this, like, on the same reference, or like we don't have the same level of reference to talk about it with each other. The manga does do better, yes. It's not perfect, but it is a lot better than the anime. Just a person. I think Shion's perspective that both her and Mion are the same is very wrong because they are both very different people split by their circumstances. I was going to bring that up earlier. And that is kind of what I wanted to talk about. Let me pause reading some of the theory stuff for just a second because I did want to kind of touch on this. That's one of the things that I find really thematically interesting about Watanagashi and Miyakashi in conjunction. And it's why I was really particular, too, about, like, back in Watanagashi, the stuff with Mion, where she's, like, she wants to be seen by Keiichi as, like, you know, having the capacity to be girly. She wants to be seen as, like, you know, having these multitudes to her instead of it just being assigned to one person or another. Because really a running, like a big running through line throughout these two arcs is of identity, and how tragic it is when you either don't have your own identity or when people can't differentiate between you and somebody else in that way. Like, yes, Shion says, you know, oh, Mion and me are the same in these ways, even though she acknowledges that they're different in other ways. But what she's really hoping for at the very end is that somebody will see her and recognize her for who she actually is. And one of the most tragic things about it is that just due to everything that's going on, due to all of the circumstances, Keiichi can't see it. He comes really close, and she really, really wants him to, but he just can't. He still sees her as her sister. And that's, you know, it just plays into the whole thing with the switch. Even her family couldn't tell that they had switched. We have the little bit with, you know, when we get the little flashback where we hear little Shion begging, pleading, saying, "Mom, you recognize me, don't you? You know that I'm Mion." And they don't. These sisters have basically been stripped of their own former identities and replaced whole cloth with each other's, and they just have to live their entire lives like that. And yeah, it's a lot. It fucking sucks. Jadiriel, my current fascination with Higu started with skimming over Dean Arc 5 a few weeks before the first stream got posted, and now have come full circle. Thank you for bringing me and the rest. Let me see. Oh god, where's your next message? Where did it go? Us newbies for this ride and onwards. Also, I liked it more from that skim than when I watched the whole thing later on. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Thank you. Gona, man, the reveal that Mion's confession in Chapter 2 is all just Takano's theory. She can't keep getting away with this. Oh, God. We'll finally circle back to grifters. I'm so sorry it took so long. The village history of sacrifice has to be somewhat true, evidenced by the warehouse and the Sonozaki torture dungeon maze, but the details we know mostly came from Takano. It's Takano all the way down. Now, the second big thing, Oreo is not involved in the curse. Now, what's interesting to me is that it's specifically Oreo that we have confirmation on. If she had this attitude, like, oh, maybe I did it, maybe I didn't, there's a chance people in the family did act on some things thinking it's what she wanted, especially with the Yakuza ties to being added by Akane's marriage. So Oreo isn't orchestrating shit, but countless other villagers could either do it for the families if they actually wanted it or not, or they could be taking advantage of the reputation, example, Satoshi. Now the fact that Oreo herself could not find anything, while she has infinitely more resources than Shion and maybe even Oishi and the police, the fact that people think she's doing it means people may not give her info out of fear, out of the idea that she's in the know. As much as I dislike him, Oishi is a good source for solid facts on the mysterious string of deaths. Unfortunately, I don't know how much info we'd get from Oreo in the future, because she's so removed from anyone that isn't the twins. Fuck me, I guess. Yeah, you do bring up a lot of interesting points there. I don't have anything in particular to say about them for now, but good thinking. Continue thinking. Cybernetic Silver. Oh, speaking about the Shion BS monologue, Irie is described as an important figure and an outsider, and I was thinking, I don't think Irie is doing war crimes, but... War Crimes Part 2, but we should consider that Irie is now more than he lets on. Knows more than he lets on, or maybe this is actually science fiction instead of a ghost story, lol. Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps he could. Sky, I've already read the series, so I cannot participate in theory time, sadly. So instead, I just have general Higu questions. What are your thoughts on the two different dubs for the Higu animes?
The original dub for the 2016 anime is rough.
I don't think the actors themselves are all like necessarily like bad or anything, because I've heard most all of them in other stuff where they've done fine. I think the scripting and like the overall tone is just really off, though. Judging by what was going on with Genion at the time, too, they were pretty close to the end of their sort of tenure, I guess, in the anime industry in terms of dubs, and like with some other things going on as well. I honestly wouldn't have been surprised if the Higurashi dub was really rushed. So I don't entirely blame them for it, but I'm not a fan of it, really. The Go and Sotsu dubs, I haven't watched that much of them, but I generally think that the cast are all really talented, and I think that their voices fit really well. I don't really have anything bad in particular to say about them. I'm so fond of the original Japanese cast that I honestly never really watched dubs, but that is out of no aversion to their talents. I think they're all pretty great. I just prefer to watch sub, and I honestly don't really care to watch Go and Sotsu again anytime soon anyway, so that's also a factor to that. Philip, popping into the chat to say you've done an amazing job with your acting. Can't wait to see you voice certain scenes next chapter. Oh, believe me, I am very much looking forward to next arc for that very reason, but thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. By the way, chat, do you think Satoshi is still alive? Because I'm starting to believe he is. Really now? Okay, interesting. Interesting. As someone who's only seen the anime, I completely get your thought process, especially as a Type Moon fan. I'm looking forward to experiencing the story again via the VN. Oh, you sure do understand as a Type Moon fan, don't you? I still haven't watched the full Tsukihime anime, but I've heard some things. I still haven't watched Dean's Day Night either, but I need to finish actually reading Fate's Day Night before I watch Dean's Day Night to compare it. I think I saw like a couple episodes of it back in the day, but I just didn't really understand what we were getting into. Type Moon. Type Moon is a VN studio created by Kinoko Nasu, a guy who made Fate's Day Night, guy who made Tsukihime. That's their stuff, basically. Huge inspiration for Ryukishi to start making his own visual novels, in fact. They are still thanked in the special thanks of basically every 7th expansion project to this day. in no small part due to Chie-sensei being modeled after Ciel from Tsukihime. Jadariel, Watanabe was about when you fail to understand the different sides of others. Miyakashi is about when those other sides are erased. That's a painful way to put it, but you're not wrong. Gona, I feel like Oreo not finding anything is confirmation to me that the incidents are not directly connected and there's no mastermind, because if anyone could figure it out, it would be her. I mean, are you sure, though? I don't know. Let's see. Deathbird, as a clarification of my idea, I believe the one who is playing out Oyashiro-sama's curse wants to be him. Okay, that's an interesting perspective. Heather, I also just really enjoy getting to see events redone from a different perspective. The way it changes how the previous times we saw it feels is so good. Love this one a lot. Yeah, absolutely. It's really fun to see like the previous events reframed through a different character perspective, and this one in particular I think was the best way to really start it off, because it focuses so heavily on like this really fucked up series of events, but like really putting you squarely in Shion's POV so that you can see how every little thing escalates and see her process of thinking and like how she comes to the conclusions that she does. It doesn't necessarily mean that you agree with all of her actions, of course, or even most of her actions, but you still are able to follow from point A to Z there, and I think that's really important for the story that Higurashi is trying to tell. Yeah. Skygazer, I remembered, although it is a really well-drawn CG, the CG of Shion laying on the floor dying bugs me, because in a story context she's dressed as Mion, yet the CG has Shion's outfit. Yeah, you know, I think that's a fair criticism to have. I mean, you know, it's whatever. We know. And that's what counts, I suppose. Grifter, okay, for now for what's making me go crazy. How did Shion do that? How'd she stab Keiichi? If she didn't, then they somehow had a psychic connection and made him stab himself? Huh? What? Reminds me of Satoko in the storehouse, TBH, which is making me think the situations are overlapping for some reason, although Satoko/Shion's was across time and Keiichi Shion was across space. Very interesting. How Shion was involved both times, and also Tomitake. I guess it's hard to get info on him because he keeps fucking dying, considering Shion heard Oyashiro-sama, and we haven't gotten a proper perspective from Satoshi and Rena. There may be something involved with that. Rika also be a helpful perspective as she's moving across time. I'm not sure what you're referring to be honest. I am confused about where you are confused. She left the place she was hiding out, went over to Keiichi's place, stabbed him, and then came back. I'm not sure I understand where your confusion is coming from. She got on her little bike and drove over and stabbed him and then came back. And then when she was up on the way back through the balcony, because she had to climb up to the door because the other door was locked, she fell. Didn't they say she died at the same time? No, they did not. They just frame it in a weird sort of like ethereal way, because all of the events are sort of blending together in her mind, because it's all happening in this sort of like jumbled mess in her brain. But like, no, it's just a sequential event. They don't even bother trying to like make that any more confusing in the anime. They literally do just show it as a linear event in the anime. So I guess that's one thing that the anime has, I suppose. Let's see. Seditious. I think Satoshi is alive, but when he was running away, he lost his ID, fell in brown paint, and accidentally knocked the original Keiichi off a cliff before getting concussion on a rock, losing his memory, at which point Keiichi's mom and dad mistook him for Keiichi, and he just went with it. I like the implication that you fall in a mud puddle and your hair turns permanently brown. The super mud. Gona, you know the scene with Keiichi in the hospital reminds me of Shion being haunted by Shion's ghost. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why, but I had the perception that Shion's hiding place was too far from Keiichi's house. I mean, she goes on a motorcycle, so it shouldn't take her too long. And she's there really late. So... Oh, it was framed to Keiichi that they happened at the same time because Oishi fucked up the timeline for him. Yeah, I mean, there's also that because of the whole twin swap debacle, because of, you know, Shion being like, okay, Mion, you can be Mion again now. Please fall down a hole and die so that you'll be identified as Mion at the bottom of the hole. And then she's identified as Shion falling out of the window. Yeah. Rahela, I'm more confused about why Shion was allowed to have knives sharp enough to stab people with when she was unstable. Did she stab Keiichi with a butter knife? I mean, you're putting a lot of faith in the professionals in the world of this story, especially in the 80s. You are putting a lot of faith in what they are willing to look out for. I mean, we're talking about a world where, you know, a guy can walk up to his mom and dad on any given night and say, guys, if I die, bury me with my clock, and the only response you get is, that was weird. Mental health services were still a growing field in the 2000s. Forget the 80s. Yeah, yeah. Mental health services, in particular, in Japan, are especially were especially slow growing. I'm fairly certain that they're, or at least I'm fairly positive that I have seen that they're much better now than they used to be. But at the time, especially, they were not great. She probably just had knives in her apartment and no one thought to take them. Yeah, pretty much. That's about what I chalk it up to. Also, yeah, Kasai was supposed to still be nearby as well, so I guess they probably figured that, you know, he'll probably... He has it handled. I really feel like that whole Hanyu thing is really important, but I can actually only think of how it's the same letters as the South Korean drug company when rearranged, and I feel like that's wrong. I mean, I don't know. Who can say? He gave her a taser. That's also true. He sure did. Okay. I believe that we've talked for quite a while now. So I think that we can probably go ahead and move on to art now. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me get it up. Okay. We have fan art. Starting off with this from Donponpon on Blue Sky Social. Higurashi Chapter 5 is making me sad, so I drew Shion being a silly cat as a palette cleanser.
Yeah, I'm innocent, Your Honor.
Shion, no! with the claw. Oh my god. And then this the pat. How wonderful. It is what we needed. I feel healed already. Very adorable. Thank you. Also on Blue Sky, we have this from Chiyoko, which is less of a palate cleanser. For the finale of Meikashi Hen, I wanted to depict Shion's last moments falling. Up until her death, her true existence was always to be denied. No, the GIF is not working, unfortunately, Gona. Not even on the site itself. On the preview or anything. But yeah, death, hurt, pain. Really good posing though. You did a very good job doing the POV with that, and like the hair flowing as well. Very impressive. Very good job. It hurts me in my soul. It punches me until I die. But yeah, thank you. Speaking of pain, also on Blue Sky, we have this from Akimichi. An amazing ending to a heartbreaking arc. This will likely be my last piece for a while, since finals are fast approaching, coming face to face with something as otherworldly as you. This is pretty raw. This is pretty visceral. The expression in particular, I think, certainly conveys the actual emotion of the scene a lot more accurately than the anime did. That's for sure. But yeah, very, very well done. This is really well laid out as well. Yeah, just in general, very good framing and expressions. Very good job. Moving on over to Tumblr. Oh god! Actually, let me go ahead and turn off the game so you can see this a little bit more obscured, or a little less obscured. But like, look at, oh my lord, fucking masterful. This is from Akolnoix. That's Akolnoix on Tumblr. I've known it for a long time now. I am nothing but a demon. Jeez. It's so fucking good. Also, there is a little bonus which I forgot to open. Let me do that real quick. Let me just like put it here so you can see. I'll throw this in as a bonus, as I had a lot of fun rendering stuff that barely shows in the final LMAO. Wanted to make a bigger piece for Meikashi. I'm so happy I finished it in time for the final stream. Took and used reference photos for this one. Who'd have thought that doing things to make things easier for yourself actually makes things easier? Yeah, you know, but like, man, this is just like genuinely so fucking cool. I said before, when you submitted your art before, that like some of my favorite Meikashi related art had been drawn by you like several years ago. So to have you submit something of this caliber for the stream is just for me, it's like it's a fun little wraparound moment almost. It's actually really cool, and I'm really, really happy that you sent this in, because this is just fucking amazing. Like the composition, the coloring, the posing, everything is just so perfect. It's such a good visual representation of like everything that Shion's like character like goes through in this arc in particular. It's just, you like it paints like 1,000 words with just one picture. It's I could talk about this all day, but like seriously, thank you for sending this. This is fucking brilliant. This deserves to be framed in like a fucking art museum. Speaking of good Shions, we have some more stuff from Dingo's Trash. I'm really glad my last piece was met with such kind words and understanding. I always worry my more serious pieces don't really come across well since my art style is rather limited, but I do enjoy playing around with visual metaphors and stuff, so maybe I'll try to do more serious stuff. You should. I think you're underselling yourself a little bit. I think your style is really expressive and cool and fun, and I think that it fits well for both like fun stuff and for serious stuff. I think you have a lot of great ideas. Drew a sort of follow-up Shion inspired by Perfect Blue because my own creativity was not present this week. The sketch is under the cut because I'm kind of more happy with the sketch, but we'll get to that in a second. I really love this a lot. The repaired, like the taped horns with the little teardrop and the posing with the hand, like the slight obscure of the face, all forcing herself to become the mask. Yes, exactly. It's very well put together. I really like this a lot. Bonus, Rena, also a little Rena because she's because there's never enough Rena. She is in the Koha Ace art style as a Type Moon subliminal message. Thank you. I appreciate it. Cross over my two dueling strains of visual novel autism. Thank you. It's very, very good. And then the sketch that you were talking about, which, yeah, is also really good. I think, like, both of them are really good, honestly. I think they both came out brilliantly, but I definitely understand that feeling of, like, having a sketch that you're really happy with and then moving on to the final and being like, I'm not getting something that I wanted with this. But for what it's worth, from my perspective, I think that it's great. I think you did a great job. Another Shion from Ubi-Ubi. I'm a bit behind and hoping to catch up on the VOD soon. I'm going to take a wild gamble and guess that Shion will do something during the stream, lol. Wouldn't you know it, I believe you were correct! But it's nice to have a slightly more pleasant, just happy little waving Shion for this. Goodness knows that we need as much consolation as we can get. This is cute though. I really like the posing and just the, like, again, like I think your art style is very cute. It fits this really well. Also the stickers are a fun touch. And then on Discord. Oh, the pain in my heart. Let's return to, and this is from Rahela. Let's return to those days once more. I know it will be alright this time. Let's always laugh closely together, with me right by your side. And those are lyrics from the vocal version of You, which played during the credits of this arc. If you haven't heard it already, you should definitely listen to it. You should just, like, look up, like, You Die, like, DAI vocal, and you'll probably find it pretty easily. I made a redraw of a scene from the end credits of the anime Season 2. To my knowledge, the flowers bordering them are anemones and lilies of the valley, which in Hanako Toba mean sincerity and sweetness, respectively. It may be too late for Meikashi Shion, but hopefully in another world, another Shion will be able to do right by Satoko. Well, thankfully for us, I think she's already well on her way to making that a reality. This is really good. This is very sweet. I recognized it from that shot, but, like, you did a very, very good job drawing it. Thank you for this. This is very good. Oh yeah, to Evie Curry's point, the Mion and Shion have their own version of it as well. They sure do. It's very good. Mion and Shion also have a character song, I believe. I believe it's called Futari no Birthday. That's pretty good. It's quirky. And this last minute submission by Dav. which is very good. Traveling again this week, this time in Texas for the first time for the Final Four. Not a lot of time for drawing, but please have this cowboy Mion I drew in my hotel lobby literally just now. It's peak. I don't know what else to say other than it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Thank you, Dav. Next time she is besieged by a vicious attack, she can simply climb onto horseback and escape. It's this is very good. I quite like this. Thank you. Let's do one last sweep through the art as we always do. And I believe that is it. So thank you again so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this arc. Higurashi, believe it or not, I know we just experienced peak, but believe it or not, Higurashi only continues to get better in my opinion. So look forward to that. Again, just to reiterate, next Tuesday, no stream. Next Friday, Dual Destinies DLC stream. And then the week after that, we will be back to things as regular with Sumi Horoboshi, Arc 6 of Higurashi, starting Friday after next. So be excited for that. And not to give you too high of expectations, but Sumi Horoboshi is my favorite arc in the entire series. So, yeah. You know, nothing, not to give you any crazy thoughts or anything, but you might just want to keep your eyes peeled. Now that they've been fully opened, that is. Tee-hee, ha-ha, funny pun. Okay, I'm on my way out now. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you then. Bye!